Yo, yo.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is time for the first ever USAE national team co-stream. I'm Harris Rubenstein, taking you through the action tonight with my main man, JT, through audio issues and clothing traveling issues galore. It doesn't matter. We are here live. JT, my man, how you doing?
I am doing okay because when there's a will, there's a way. You just have to figure it out sometime. And we did that. So that's all that matters.
Hey, we'll get it done no matter what. So if you're wondering who we are and what we are doing here, currently going on is the eFIBA Season 2 qualifier here in North America, where our USA basketball team is going up against a lot of great teams today. We'll see them against Puerto Rico, Guatemala, and the Dominican Republic. The number one seed on the line, Team USA, or excuse me, USA basketball, currently 7-0. JT, feeling good, including a big win recently over the Cayman Islands, 89-23 in our first game of the night. What'd you see in that first game?
I just seen a team that's hungry to go 5-0 because if they go 5-0, they do get that bye. They do clinch that number one seed. I just see a team that's very hungry. They're all playing together no matter what the lineup is. I can tell they've all bought in to really just get it done.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch them play, watch them go. Obviously, this was the second team playing for USA basketball. Unguardable, Shifty Kai, Kraft making her USA basketball debut. Cease again at the power forward spot and Dimes at center. So it was a really fun game, JT. And obviously, we had the skill boosters come into play as well. We held Cayman Islands under 30 points. Dimes had a triple double, which means that we get 2 extra points in the standings, which is feeling pretty good going into this third game against Puerto Rico.
Which is big. Dimes is a former point guard. He did play point guard back in my day. So him having a triple double, I'm not surprised at all because that is just something he's probably always wanted to do as a point guard. But now that he's a center, he can actually do that.
Well, while we're waiting for USA basketball to come on here and take on Puerto Rico, they just took down Dominican Republic in quite the upset win. We'll talk about that in a second. But JT, first things first, who are you? What are you doing here? How did you get here, my man? What is going on, JT? How did you make it to USA basketball?
Oh, where do I start? I was a professional NBA 2K League player for seasons 1 through 3. And then I said it's time to kind of change careers. So now I'm doing something I might love just a little more. I
Ooh.
am the official color commentator for the NBA 2K League in both modes, 3v3 and 5v5. So I'm just happy to be here, ecstatic for the opportunity, and we're gonna have a good time.
Hey, shout out to our guy, Mr. Vince Chang, in the chat, one of the lead broadcasters for the eFIBA tournament. Myself, I am as well one of the talents for the NBA 2K League, and I've also been lucky enough to have been handed the keys to the USAB Gaming social media accounts, which I take with a lot of pride. So if you guys see me looking over to the various screens I have tonight, don't worry. I'm just trying to get them tweets up, trying to get Instagram up as well. But we will get some live USA basketball gameplay up for you guys soon. Right now, we're watching Argentina taking on Uruguay. And this Argentina team, they've been pretty scrappy, JT. They've been doing pretty well in the South America region. I believe they're second behind Brazil, coached by another 2K League coach, Mr. Nick Gartrell. So, yeah, fun to see all the different countries competing.
It's definitely fun because we don't get to see them on the regular. So now that they're all on one grand stage to see everybody really show why they deserve to be here or why they feel like they belong. Like Brazil, we're used to seeing them really do their thing in that region. But these other teams kind of have something to say about that. They're trying to fight with that. So I respect just really having that grit to really dig deep and compete and show that they're not the only team worth talking about in that region.
Hey, while we're at it, go ahead and give a follow to at USAB Gaming. You'll see all of our great content that we've been putting out. A big thing that happened tonight, JT. You know what? Because I have the technology, let's pull up that clip from Miss Kraft from tonight. She made her debut as a USA basketball player. She gave a great interview with the eFIBA broadcast. Let's actually watch that here. Ooh, hold on. They can't actually get any audio on that. Classic. Let's see if we can hook that up for the people. But anyway, JT, let's talk about Kraft for a second while I'm trying to figure this out. What did you see from her performance in Game One that inspired you?
I seen just her really, like, knowing the game. Like, as she said in that interview, "My biggest preparation is knowing the game, how I should play it, how my opposition plays the game." As in shooting, guards are struggling to 3 hunt at the moment. So she knew to kind of take off their launch pads, their driving lanes, really make them 3 hunt and shoot the ball. And she did that. Came out. She also had 13 boards. Like
Hmm.
she had 13 boards, which was second on the team behind Dimes for 17. Like had 4 steals, more than the whole team had. Like she really came out and did her thing in her debut.
Well, here you go. I'm going to show the box score one more time from the 89-23 victory over the Cayman Islands. To see Kraft there in the middle, her and Cease basically using the same build, a big 6'8" power forward build. 5 points, 13 boards, 6 assists, 4 steals, a block, 2 or 3 from the field, and 1 or 2 from three. JT, we'll be talking about the shooting and the limitless stuff and everything that's kind of been changing with 2K as we watch the games tonight. But inspiring, at least for this USA basketball, or excuse me, for USA basketball to hit 15 threes. They get 89 points in their first game. Now a huge game coming up against Puerto Rico, who, like I mentioned, they just took down the Dominican Republic, setting up a very, very interesting kind of leveling at the top of these standings if USA basketball were to drop one of these games.
That's just what it comes down to. We've seen how we looked when we went 5-0 a couple weeks prior. But now teams have had time to practice, teams have had time to do film, warm up, do way more, get way more preparation in to really fight for that number one seed. So these two of these 3 games are super important. Like that DR team, that Puerto Rican team, Puerto Rico is really coming with it. Like getting that dub, that was huge because coming in, I'm like, okay, our biggest competition, like Crab said, may be Dominican Republic. But then look at what Puerto Rico just did. So you just never know any day who's going to really show up and get it done.
We'll get into the starting lineups here for Puerto Rico and USA. Let's start with our USA basketball lineup, JT, because it's changed. Obviously, we had the first team come out with Unguardable, Kai, Kraft, Cease, and Dimes, but a little bit different of a starting five here for USA basketball. CB13, Johnny Red, Dawsick, Cease, and Dimes. They retake their starting spots as the official starting five for the E-National team. I mean, this starting five was ridiculous 2 weeks ago when they played. They dropped 180 points at the time, a world record in NBA 2K, at least in eFIBA. And then as well, they were really, really good in that stretch, including 2 big wins over Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico that I think when people look at the scores, they were like, hey, why are these so close? We're USA. We should always be winning. But that should just show you the level that the Dominican and Puerto Rico bring to the table.
That's what everybody has to understand. We have talent around the world. It's not just US, it's not just that Middle East region, Europe region. Every region has top players in the world. And that's the crazy part. These games are close. And that US lineup you just named, those are 5 champions,
Mhm.
5 2K League champions. But it's other teams that can still compete with them. That just goes to show you how good players in the world, around the world, not just in 1 or 2 specific regions, are at this game.
Well, to do a little further explainer on what exactly we're doing here, what is the NBA 2K competitive esport, what even is the NBA 2K League, think of it very similar to the normal USA basketball, where you have players on their NBA teams who get called up to the international team and play for USA basketball. Very similar in NBA 2K. There is a league that exists called the NBA 2K League, which JT and I work for, where the best 2K players in the world come and play, very similar to the actual NBA. And these 5 players here actually were all NBA 2K League stars. CB13 and Cease just won the NBA 2K League 5v5 championship as members of Warriors Gaming Squad. Johnny Red and Dawsix are on Bucks Gaming, who's being led up by current E-National team head coach Lance Sessions. They won the title 2 years ago with Mr. Dimes as well. So there is a lot of connective tissue between the NBA 2K League and this E-National team for USA basketball. Not surprised, JT, and I also wouldn't be surprised if that relationship continues to deepen over the next couple of years.
When we have just that core group of just our best players, which sometimes finds its way to fluctuate, but I feel like lately it's kind of been stamped on just we have these certain crop of players who are just elite at their positions and they come in, they buy in. We see how they play 2 weeks ago. We see them play now. Like they just really have this system led by also coaches Lance Sessions, Jeff Terrell. Like they really came in and just built this program to be above and beyond.
Shout out to everybody hanging out in the chat with us. Connor 2KL, one of the better players in the NBA 2K League, plays for Pistons GT. Shout out to Mr. Stepback Sammy as well, a mainstay in the 2K community. And True Lucky Bands asks, how do we get in the eFIBA League? Well, you got to have a passport or a citizenship for a specific country and hope that country is competing in eFIBA. I believe a lot of countries do tryouts leading up into this tournament. So whatever team you, or excuse me, whatever country you call home, if they have a team here in eFIBA, you might have a chance to compete if you're like that in 2K, JT. But not a lot of people out there like that. So it's tough to break into one of these squads.
Definitely takes a lot to get there because you have to think you have to be the best of the best in your country.
Mhm.
That's not a small feat.
Not at
But
all.
if you're really like that, and if those thumbs work with the best of them, go get it. Don't let us tell you what you can't do. Just show us. You can always output what we say by going out there and proving us wrong.
No Team Ireland. Yeah, sorry, Connor. Maybe next time. Uh, as well, people might be wondering where's the gameplay? Why hasn't the game started? Well, we're waiting just the same as you. That is Cease. We're watching Cease's screen right now on 2K. And yeah, it's we're waiting around for the game to start. I think we're about to get into a lobby here, and hopefully we'll start this game against Puerto Rico. A really really big game. JT cannot be stressed enough that if you're looking at the main players in this region, it really is USA Basketball, the Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. All three teams featuring plenty of NBA 2K League stars. On this Puerto Rico team, we're actually going to see 5 of them. So at point guard, it'll be Killy, a member of the Dukes Infinito squad, now Cavs Legion, but he won a 3v3 championship this past season. You have Gazuli, former first-round pick of Raptors Uprising GC. At lockdown, Follow the God, I believe he's been in the league for about 4 or 5 years now. At power forward, I believe it's going to be Jay Bullen, a big prospect who's on the come up. And then at center, it'll be Jomar, the Puerto Rican sensation. Been in the league since its inception, got into the league on a generator. So one of the all-time great 2K players. Doesn't matter if it's my team, pro-am, quick match, anything. That man is going to put one on you. So excited to see Jomar tonight. I believe he'll be on a popper.
That's just one of the best players in the world. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He can go to any mode that 2K has to offer, and he will show why he's one of the better players in the world. So I'm excited to watch him, but I'm more so a little excited to watch Jay Bullen. I feel like Jay
Yes.
Bullen is this up and coming prospect who, from what I'm seeing, is the best power forward that is up and coming right now. Like I played against him in 5v5, I played against him in 3v3. And in both modes, he has showed me he is just a dog. He is just a very ferocious elite talent in this 2K community.
Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have gameplay to jump to, which, finally been waiting. It's a big game going up against Puerto Rico, USA Basketball, and you'll see Puerto Rico going through a bit of a lineup change here. Killy at point guard, Young Star at shooting guard, Range at the 3, and then Jay Bullen and Jomar at the 4 and the 5. Let's talk about Range a little bit here, JT. Member of Pacers Gaming, was on the rookie class, did well towards the end of this season, but a really ferocious player. Defensively, he's going to be all up in CB13's pockets this game, trying to get those plucks and get him away. As you see the USA Basketball starting lineup: CB, Johnny Red, Dawsick, Cease, and Dimes. JT, you got a score prediction for us today? I know I always put you on the spot on the 2K League broadcast.
A score prediction?
Yeah.
Give me, I'm gonna go 50-45
Okay.
USAB winner.
50-45 USAB. Should be fun. I like it. I think this game is going to be close. And I've said a couple times, Puerto Rico just took down the Dominican Republic, which was a really, really big surprise. The DR has kind of cemented themselves as top 5 team in the world over the past couple FIBA tournaments. So to see them lose any game, let alone a game against Puerto Rico, who they've kind of had their number the past couple years, is surprising. CB13 knocks down a big shot.
At some point, you just have to fight back, and that's what I'll
Yeah.
always go to. Teams don't like losing. At some point, you're gonna fight back and see, like, you know what, team, we tired of this. We're better than them. We know we can compete with them. It's time to show it. They showed that today.
2-0 early here already. Step back Sammy says, knowing this 2K, it may be 20 to 25. JT, let's bring people into what the current game of NBA 2K has looked like over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, a big patch comes down, changes up the shooting, changes the way guys get steals. Three-point shooting is a lot harder unless you're completely wide open, just like that there. What do you make of the new way that 2K is being played right now? A little bit more defensive heavy and definitely harder to hit those threes.
It's very defensive because not only is the change to limitless range a thing you have to adjust to, now it's the implementation of speed ups and slowdowns when shooting the ball that can be open. When you're closed out on just a little bit, you get sped up. Like it can go from open, from wide open to open, and you're instantly sped up most of the time. So when that happens, it changes the whole release, which causes it to be slightly early or slightly late. And this 2K is not like the previous ones. If it's not excellent release, it's not going in.
Well, swapping over to the official eFIBA stream here, you got the voices of Nate, I guess Nate Patrick or Nate Olos. I forget what he exactly goes by now, but it's him and Mr. Made in India, two other 2K League broadcasters who got lucky enough to cast this tournament. So they have the call officially. So we'll keep their line going. But so far, 3-2 here for Puerto Rico, JT. The offense is going to be few and far between, especially with how good these two teams are defensively.
That's
Ooh,
why my
nice
score
midi.
wasn't too high. It teams are gonna have to fight on both ends. We're gonna watch a lot of gritty basketball, a lot just two teams really going at it and just fighting, scratching for points on this game.
One thing to note. So obviously Puerto Rico coming off the win. Team USA coming off no wins. Ooh, nice standing dunk there. Uh, USA basketball coming off a forfeit from Barbados. So they haven't played. Actually, this starting five hasn't played all day outside of scrimmages. So I wonder if USA gets off to a little bit of a slow start here as they try to shake off the rust, but only down by one, trying to make sure Puerto Rico can't extend this lead.
I think that's actually a good sign. They haven't played and they're only down one. You're right there. You're 1 point out of winning the game or tying the game. Sorry. So when it comes down to it, I think just give them a good quarter, maybe a quarter and a half, and they should be able to pick back up right where they left off.
Oh, a couple turnovers
Ooh,
here for USA. A little bit
that's
smarter
the
with the
thing.
ball.
That's kinda how it goes now, like, this game is big on transition. If you can get out on the break and score, that's huge, which is why you're seeing almost after every rebound, they're advancing the ball, outletting the ball far down court, but teams are starting to get back on that because you can kinda guess when a shot is missing now, like, "Oh, I sped it up, get back," or, "Oh, his catch look heavy, so he's shooting the ball slower, get back, that's all." Like, see, I know that. And I know that, they do too.
It's interesting seeing both centers on poppers. For those who are new to the 2K community, a popper is just a center that can pop out and shoot. Is oh my goodness, Jomar puts it down. It's interesting the difference between the inside bigs and the poppers, JT. Obviously, the poppers split the floor a little bit more, but they come with their own weaknesses. Maybe a little bit weaker inside defensively. Ooh, that's a nasty shot by Charlie.
That's the thing. With Pops, I feel like it's really meta in just the best way to play right now because it just opens up the floor so much. Especially when you have centers that are really skilled at slip popping, which for those at home that don't know what that is, you fake like you're slipping and you pop right out. And if you don't know it's coming, it is going to be very effective, which if you watch Dimes is one of the better players in the world at actually slip popping.
Well, 9-7 here. USA back on top. Oh, I'm sorry, JT. I just covered up your camera. There you are. Man,
I'm not
my
mad
two
at you.
screens are absolutely packed with stuff, man. I got stuff for social. I got a whole screen dedicated to the stream. I promise. Any technical difficulties tonight, you can call my lawyer.
We just gotta get you a third.
Oh,
That's
dude, I
all.
need one, man. I've been talking about it for so long.
I've had one for going on 6 years. I first was introduced to it when I made the 2K League as a rookie in 2018, and I have not gone back since.
Going
Oh,
down
I like
now.
you shooting that there. CB13. I do like him shooting that, but he was worried about the closeout, so kinda got baited there, passed out to the corner. Free board.
Ooh,
Oh,
can't
the
get it
wrap
up.
up was perfect, the wrap up
Yeah,
was
it's a
perfect.
shot clock.
It was
Wow. He
perfect.
didn't even get the
It's
rim.
a
Oh no.
Dawsix has to shoot that. He has to shoot. That wrap up would have been open, and even if it wasn't open, it would have been a free board. And for those at home that don't know what a free board is, it is literal what I'm saying. A free board is when you shoot up a shot that is a free offensive rebound for a player on your team.
Getting a tweet out right now. That Charlie 3, that was nasty. Love those corner fades this year, especially when you time them up against an open. They go in a lot and they make it look pretty on the way down.
That's the one thing I would say. Fades, we usually are accustomed to only seeing them from guards, but really, point guard to the power forward can really knock down a fade. It's actually impressive this year.
Jomar's 0 for 2 now. Usually a very reliable shooter. Like we said, JT, there is no such thing as reliable shooting anymore in this 2K. You gotta hope and pray a little bit. I don't want to say they took the skill gap down, but it's harder to know when it's actually going in.
It's definitely tough, like, with the like I said, once speed downs or speed ups and slow downs were implemented, that changed the whole game of
Ooh,
shooting on this game.
that was a great
It
pass
should
from
be green.
Dimes. That'll be a foul there on Cease. Yeah, that's the problem is that, you make all these great plays. Johnny gets open off a little off-ball decks. Dimes hits him, but even if it's wide open or open, just so hard to know exactly what your timing is when you have a player right on your hip. Might speed it up, slow it down. Just hard to know. But the best of the best they figured out as the game goes on is, oh, he missed. Okay. Hey, we might have put that on the low lights reel.
Oh, Dimes almost was just on the top 10 of the night, and that would have been number 1.
Let's see what CB's got for us. A little behind the back. A little twofer. Nah,
I feel
good
like the slip
defense.
pop was open. Yeah, they played sides there and they played low to box in CB13. A slip pop from Dimes would have been wide open, but he just slipped there.
Oh, that's a big steal. Ooh, almost got away with it. Way downtown. Nah, you're not going to hit that one.
It's makeable. It's definitely greenable. But
There you go.
hmm,
10-9. PR up by 1. Just like you thought, JT. Slow and steady. A lot of defense. I am impressed by how USA is playing defense right now. The only way that they've been able to find points has been on breakdowns off of rebounds, as CB can't get that one to go. And hey, they're changing games, so we are going to go to our other stream because I am always prepared, JT. You can't stop me. Well, I got to turn the
I
audio
like
off.
that idea, Harris. I like that idea.
Get out of
I
here.
I
There we
feel
go.
like they had Dimes right there when Dawson's went back to CB13 there, and then which led to the missed layup. Dimes went to that left corner that got him wide open. Oof, yeah. Every time it says open at this point in the game, expect a speed up.
Well, that's a thrilling shot. Nah, that one won't go as Jomar gets the dunk. 12-9 now. USA stalling a little bit here offensively. They've had some looks, but Puerto Rico playing some really good defense. Jay Bullen down low has really thwarted a big part of the USA offense, which is those backdoor cuts, trying to get Cease and Dawsix, into the lane, try to get some easy shots. But nothing going right now. So Johnny missed CB a little bit early there. Good cut from
I don't,
Cease. Nice. Well done.
I don't know a power forward that plays cuts better than Jimmy. I don't. Like I said, I played him in both modes. I've watched him in both modes. Like the way he just has like this knack for knowing when a cut is coming and the way he positions himself properly, it's amazing.
Jomar going to the line here. Switch the first one. Yeah, 52-43. Puerto Rico took down the Dominican Republic, but they're going to need to go. They got a long way to go before they clinch the number 1 seed over USA basketball, currently number 1. USA would have to lose to both Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic tonight to drop to that number 2 spot. So we'll obviously watch all those games tonight. We'll see if our boys can lock in the number 1 seed and the first round bye in the regional finals. That'd be huge. They go right to the regional finals. They'll take on the winner of the semifinalist game. as of right now, looking like it's going to be Dominican taking on Puerto Rico, but we'll see. That'll be a foul. Is that charge? Nah, it's a block. Even if it's a USA charge, you know me, JT. I gotta
Oh
going
man,
the other way.
please don't get started. Please don't get started. I don't need you seeing one charge tonight unless they hold circle or
Nice
B,
move. Nice one.
contingent on what console. Ooh, ooh. He see. I expected he'd like fade off that screen, but to stop and shoot that and green that, I can only tip my hat. Big shot by CB13.
That's going to be the foul to give for USA. 14-all. We're about to end the first half. You got 9, excuse me, NBA 2K League players out there. 8. Youngstar and Jay Bullen are both trying for the league. 2 high-end prospects. It's Killy. That's a great fade. Won't go. Finally, they get the outlet pass up. I feel like they've been turning the ball over on a couple of those. Oh, Dot. Nice pass. I got to reward him.
Well, that's Doms being Doms. That is in his name. That is a dime. Great pass by Doms.
Yeah, unlucky there, too. Looked like CB got a hand on the ball, but falls right to the enemy. I shouldn't say the enemy. Fall right to the other team.
Yeah, sometimes that's the one thing about like which I'm sure he has very low steal rating. You won't get really favored with a good animation to actually make you come out with the steal because his steal is just too low. But that's common with point guards. Point guards, it's hard to have everything you need, so you have to give something up. And for point guards, that's defense.
Nice shot there by Johnny Red, averaging 40.5 points per game. We'll see if either team gets the 40 points this game. But Johnny has been excellent. His first tournament with USA Basketball. Oh, nice drop there from Cease. I won't get rewarded. 18-17. We'll see if USAB can go out on top here in halftime.
You don't have to jump this year. You don't have to jump
Hands
this
up.
year. Cease hands up. Jomar can't score that. I promise he can't score that. Oh, what's his bell out on?
Here you go. Johnny over to
Flip up.
CB. Nice. Well done. Great offense there from USA. Stayed patient, found the open spot. They got a 2-point lead. Let's see if they can hold it.
I think my score may have been a little too high. Just a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Oh, nice
Not about
backdoor
much.
cut. I think you're a little bit high, buddy. Let's see.
Just a little bit.
Oh, back to CB. Oh, he's open. Did he get that off? No, it didn't matter anyway. All right. Well, we expected it to be scrappy, and scrappy we got.
I feel like he should have shot that through there off the catch. He didn't have to go fade. I think, especially with Badge. With Badge, he could have really just got it up. Would it have been yellow as in contested? Maybe. But it still would have been greenable. So I feel like he just had to take a chance there. But also, he may have wanted to keep his green machine. He is 3 for 3 from 3 right now, 4 for 6 from the field. That green machine is one of the better badges in the game. And at this point, that the game is shooting wise, that green machine is huge.
Well, tied up 20-all. Big half coming here for USA Basketball. Don't want to drop a game at this point in the tournament. As Dimes gets him up in the air and take the easy 2.
See, like right there. Why?
Oh, that's a big turnover.
Why jump? Why jump?
Nice. Gets the dunk. 24-20 now. Little breathing room here for USA. They're starting to get their takeovers. Dimes is starting to cook a little bit. CB popped his. What is a takeover, JT? Help our audience who might be new to this.
A takeover is simply what your specialty is. But the best part about this year, unlike other years, the first thing you see is an icon based on your specialty. Like off the angle, you see the little dead eye. That's sharp. That's shooting badge. But on the second one is something this year called Mamba mentality, which once you fill up both and activate it, you get every takeover. Sharp, defensive, playmaking, you get everything. So that may be probably one of the coolest features that 2K24 has because you've just never had the opportunity to be able to do just everything at a magnificent level for a small amount of time.
Yeah, a lot of branding around Kobe coming into this 2K. Nice 3. Oh, that's a 2. Obviously, a USA Basketball legend, Kobe Bryant. So, again, more and more just connective tissue here between NBA 2K and the basketball world at large. Well, that one's going to be a pluck. Nice play there from Jay Bullen. Puerto Rico's going to take the lead here, and they will. 27-26. There goes that breathing room. Vince asks, do you think PR has a shot at dethroning the U.S.? Honestly, Vince, I do, mostly because I find that best of one in 2K can be very random. So you might play one good game, but you might not win the next two. But just because it's best of one, you got them that game. So, PR has a lot of really good players. They have 3 2K League players along with 2 high-end prospects. So, when you got talent like that on the court, you can catch anybody in a game of 2K. But we'll see if our USA Basketball members can squeeze this lead and take a close win. Oh, that'll be another turnover. Out of bounds or? Yes, out of bounds. USA will get it back.
Wow, that's just unfortunate. You force a turnover, you get a stop, and then I guess his shoes were a little too big, so it ended up being a turnover.
Let's see. Can Johnny put us back on top? Over to Cease in the corner. Back out to Dimes. Nice pick and pop. Can't get it to go. Slightly late off the open.
That's a slip hop. That right there. He looks like he's slipping, and then he pulls right
Oh,
back out. That's a slip hop.
great play from Johnny Red. We call him one of the best defensive shooting guards in the world. Better pass to Dawsix, and USA has the lead. Timeout, Puerto Rico. That was fantastic work. A little two-way action from Johnny Red. The steal, the pass, and the bucket.
Everybody on USAB is really finding a way to play a part. I feel like the piece missing right now for Puerto Rico will be the very slow start from Kelly. Like, I feel like he has to get it going a little bit, but they're only down 2, and he hasn't even registered a point yet in this game, and we're halfway through the 3rd quarter.
Oh, USA defense starting to impact it a little bit. That's unlucky. You get a pluck, and it falls right to the guy for a wide open 3. USA's defense really starting to sink their teeth in here. I wonder if they can go on a bit of a run to close out the 3rd. If they can get a bucket here. Nice
That's just what
pass.
you call unlucky, like you said.
31-30. JT, what was your score prediction again?
50 to 45. USAB.
45. Okay. Well, I don't know if we'll hit 50. We'll see that. But right now, 1 point
I
lead for
don't
Team
either,
USA. For USA
but
Basketball.
both teams definitely will hit 40.
Ooh.
Both will hit 40. If he grings that, you got it.
Oh. A wide open layup miss on a break. That is a tough miss for Puerto Rico. Let's see if USA can make him pay. Back out to Cease. Pump fake. That's a 2. Can't get it to go. Nice board from Dimes. Back out to Cease. Pump fake again. Knocks it down. They call him Super Cease for a reason. Very impressive shot.
I love that ball fake from him, and that miss by Puerto Rico, that's registered as a close shot, which is why it missed. It's not registered as a layup. It's more of like a floater that's registered as a close shot, and as a guard, it's just no way you have a high close shot because it costs too much. So that's why that missed, even though it was wide open.
I got to get that Johnny Red two-way play up on Twitter. That was fantastic. Playing shooting guard in the game of 2K is so defensive based. It's not just being a sharpshooter and being able to knock down threes. You got to be able to body up somebody on the other team and get a couple stops. That's a big rebound from Jomar. That's not going to go, though. Get that out of here. Nice board there from Cease. Let's see if USA can extend this lead up by 4. They've been really good this quarter. Been loving the defense. CB over to Cease on the flare-up. Nothing there. CB to Dimes. Ooh, looked like he might have had the hoop there for a second. Johnny for 3. Knocks it down. Biggest lead of the night for USA.
Right. I think my USAB score prediction will come true, but I don't know if Puerto Rico has 15 points in them in the 4th quarter.
Well, they'll send him to the line. Almost prefer free throws at this point in the game. You can take your 2. Range for 1.
That's if you have
Got it.
free throw. That's if you have free throw. Not all
That's
builds
true.
have high free throw, and if you don't know it,
There you go.
good
Right
luck.
on cue. No way, right? Oh, Johnny Red! What a shot! With a hand in his face, that sharpshooter badge. 9-point lead for USA. Excellent. What a shot.
Like, my prediction might not be too far off. Great shot, J-Red.
All right, well, up by 9. See if Puerto Rico responds. They'll cut it to 7 early.
Is that the first bucket for him?
Let's go
I
full
think
screen. Let's
so.
go full screen for the game here. And I'll help our people out because I made this screen too big. There you go. Ready?
Hmm.
Boom. Welcome to the magic of the internet. Making adjustments on the fly. Ooh, Dimes holds on to it. That'll be a jump ball. 2.5 for USA here.
Do you win it or do you lose it and get back? I say win it. I
Well,
say
they
win
won it and then lost it. You got both.
it.
Got to get my final score graphic ready.
Good no shot. Great no shot because I wouldn't have been open.
That's a shot. Nice three. All right. That
Uh,
9-point lead is now 4.
he's a little too heavy on that rotation. Cease was like looking to really rotate, but right there, it's not enough time left. Good shot.
Achilles got sharpshooter badge now. Ooh, almost went out of bounds there. Good timeout.
All right. Kelly got 5 points this quarter, which is what I said. Like they need him to start to pick it up a little bit. Guards aren't going to carry you like the passions, but you still have to contribute and help out to a certain extent if you want your team to come out victorious.
Oh, it's a big steal from Dawsix. Gets it over to Johnny Red. Pull up 3. Knocks it down. That's a huge shot. USA back up by 7.
I feel like every time I watch him play, it's a chance I can just call him the best player in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Ooh, that's going to be a good miss there for USA. Can they get another big bucket out of this possession? Good timeout. By the way, scores from around the region. Dominican Republic takes down the Cayman Islands 88-38. So they will not get the skill booster of holding a team under 30 points. So we'll see if they can get that for their last 2. Team USA, or excuse me, USA Basketball has gotten their 3 skill boosters already. So we will see if they're able to get the last one, which I'll find out here for y'all in a second. But for now, 7-point lead for USA Basketball. Oh, nice steal from Dimes.
Nah, it's a very late read. Very late read there.
Johnny's been a beast here in the second half. He's got more magic in that up that sleeve for us. Great pass and a better shot. There it is. 10-point lead. What a play there for the USA backcourt.
I want to say they shrunk the court a little too much, but at the same time, CB13 was way too far right, so that corner should have played two a lot better.
Being easy too. Honestly, JT, I figured that USA would come out a little bit rusty in the first half. Like I said, this starting 5 hasn't played together today. You know, coming out, it was 20-20 at the end of the first half. Now it's 46-38. Oh my goodness. Make it 49-38. Johnny Red has taken over. Oh
Mm.
my. And that might be GG's. That might be game.
I told you give them about a quarter and a half, and they'll be right back to where they're familiar with. This lineup is just way too loaded. It's way too talented, and their chemistry is there on both ends of the floor.
Kelly, a little pull up too. That'll fall. All right, we're under 2 minutes, so no more running clock. Each team has a foul to give. Same as normal basketball.
I don't know. My
CB to Johnny.
prediction might
See if they play
be
this
kinda
slow. They might
spook.
slow this up. Nope, just kidding. Johnny's on fire. Wow, another one. He is incredible.
He's on timing. This is what we call on timing. Like, he is so locked in, he's so focused, and he's just on fire. When you're feeling that confident as a guard, it's hard to stop you.
He's like, hey Harris, you can sit there. We ain't taking it slow. Not when my hair's on fire. They're gonna get it to him again. Oh no, not again. Oh my goodness. Johnny Red. What is that? His
This
5th
is
3 of the quarter, and they get the steal. Nah, he doesn't have another one
no,
in him, does he? I thought shooting was hard now, JT.
I mean, there will always be
Oh,
levels. It'll always be a skill gap, and he's just showing you that he's one of them ones.
wow. As Vince
Well,
Chang says in the chat, Johnny Red is Johnny Green. I believe that's
remember,
14 points for him in the fourth quarter. 3
all
threes and a
greens, no
bucket,
whites.
2
All
assists.
greens, no whites.
Wow. Team Puerto Rico at this point, they got to slow this down just so they can protect their point differential a little bit. This got out of hand fast. Uh-oh. USA going to try to pile it on now. No way, right? There's just no way. Oh, okay. That was getting a little ridiculous.
It was very drainable, though. I'm actually surprised he missed it with how hot he's been. He's getting tripled. Man, that's
Wow.
when you know you're having a good game when you're getting tripled.
The hero of USA basketball so far through in eFIBA has been Johnny Red. He was outstanding during the first round of games. He's been electric here in the fourth quarter of this one as USA basketball will take down Puerto Rico. A big win. Their third of the night. 2 more games to go. We'll get that box score for you guys as this one will come down to it. Do they got one more bucket? It looks like it will not be. How about Youngstar? One more bucket for the people at home. That will not go. Your final score, 60-40. I got to steal that screenshot. Thank you. Sorry, I'll excuse the pause screen. There we go. Again, it's the
That's
internet.
all
You know, we're
Johnny
getting
Red
crafty
hit.
out here. Getting crafty out here. What'd you say?
All Johnny Red hit was threes. He didn't hit. He only almost took threes. He took
Wow.
14 threes, 15 shots in total.
What a game from Johnny Red. 21 and 6, 7 of 15 from the field. All of his makes threes. Wow. Gotta get that
That's
up
a
on Twitter.
different type of confidence. Right now, in this state of the game shooting wise, that takes a different level of confidence. Like, good game by Johnny Red.
You know, it's interesting. People talked a lot about the teams that are trying to compete with USA basketball. You had a couple teams, kind of shout us out on the main FIBA broadcast. And, it's difficult because they're just guys on this USA basketball team whose ceiling is just so astronomically high. I mean, take a guy like Johnny Red. His ceiling is arguably best 2K player in the world. And that is just a really, really difficult level for anybody to hit. Obviously, the countries have talent, but they don't quite have the ceiling, the talent ceiling that this USA basketball team has.
And that just, like I said, this is the only team that you look at and they have 5 NBA 2K League champions in their starting lineup.
Yeah.
That is for a reason. Like 3 of them have chemistry. That's Johnny Red, that's Dawson, that's Dimes. They won their championship together last season. This season, CB13, Super Cs, they won together as well. So it's just like to have 5 champions, not from season 1, 2, but the 5 champions are from the last 2 seasons. That means that these 5 players are some of the best we have to date, and that's special, and we're just seeing that, and their ceiling, it just goes up and up, especially when you look at the developmental progress like Super Cs. He came in 3rd round, season 4, wasn't too good, and then season 5 and 6, the astronomical growth from him, I don't know if we've seen anything like it, and I've been around since day 1. I don't think I've seen player growth, player development like his story. And he was the first player to win a championship on 2 different teams, and he did that back to back seasons. He's special. He's special. This whole team is special.
I believe, was it 4 threes or 5 threes that Johnny Red hit in that fourth quarter, JT? It was at least 4. Did he hit a 5th?
I want to say 4.
Okay.
I want to
I'll go
say
4.
4.
I'll
It
play
could have been
safe.
5. But yeah, it could have been 5. I want to say 4.
We'll go 4 3-pointers made for that man, Johnny Red, to close it out.
But that is a huge dub by USAB. They are now 2 games away from the number 1 seed and just an automatic trip to the regionals. That means a lot. That should be huge as a confidence booster if they can get that done. If they can bring home these next 2 victories, that should be a huge confidence boost to really be able to get that weight off their shoulders of getting the first hard task done.
Well, let's check out while we're waiting for the next game to come up. So USA will be playing Guatemala in between their Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic games. Not to overlook Guatemala, but they have not fared too well so far in this tournament. So while we're waiting, let's check out the box score of the game that we just watched because we have the magic of social media. There it is. So checking it out again, 60-40, USA Basketball comes away with the lead or with the win. And yes, Fulcrum won. The starting lineup will be staying the same for the rest of the night. It will be CB, Johnny, Dawsix, Cease, and Dimes. So as you see here, 60-40. Johnny Red the star, 21-6, 7 of 14 from three. Cease knocked down 2 of 2 from behind the arc himself. Not a lot of defensive plays from Cease. That's what he's known for, JT. Obviously, the defensive player of the year, the DPOY in the NBA 2K League this year, but Dawsix getting it done with 4 steals himself.
That's what a great team does. We know Super Seas, he just won DPOY, but Dawsix is one of our better locks in the world as well. So, Super wasn't really making the proper amount of plays. But also this year, one thing we have to really look at the past couple years, it's a lot of rotations. And it's one common rotation that's called stack kings, however you want to reference it. It'll end up where Super Seas goes from the back end of the pick and roll to the opposite wing because Dimes goes paint, and that wing that Super Seas replaced went corner for Dimes.
Mhm.
That's a pretty common rotation that's called. In that game, it was called a lot. So it's just Super Seas playing his role. But Dawson came up with a lot of great on ball skills. He had 4 of them. That's just big, and it was much needed. And would start off close game, 20-20,
Mhm.
and then end up winning by 20. It was 20-20. They ended up winning by 20. That's
a,
amazing.
a 40-20 second half split for USA Basketball. I mean, you can't draw it up better than that. It's like I said, I think they came into that first half a little bit rusty. They shook it off. They started playing through their defense. I mean, they started the second half with that bucket, immediate steal, got another bucket to go up by 4. They extended it out to 7. I believe their biggest lead before it went a little bit crazy was sitting around 9, and then they really just ran away from it. And it's important in the game of 2K, JT. Obviously, you can play great defense all you want. You can play good offense. But when you get to that fourth quarter, I mean, you need a closer. You need a guy who you can give the ball to and say, hey, like, go close this game out for me. And I don't know if there's a better closer on planet Earth right now in the game of 2K than Mr. Johnny Red. And he did his thing again. Mr. First Team All NBA 2K League.
2K has been out probably a month and a half almost, and I can't argue with you. This year, I've really seen him just really just when it's time to close, he closes. He wants the ball. He lives for those big moments. He steps up. He takes those shots that a lot of people won't take, and he takes them with confidence, and he knocks them down. He's not just having the courage to take them. He's having the skill to make them.
Well, a big moment for Brazil. They come in first place in the South American region. They're celebrating they were celebrating on broadcast a second ago with their captain giving out an interview. But big for Brazil. Congrats to them. And as of right now, USA Basketball in pole position for that #1 seed and the first round bye. I actually tweeted it out earlier. So let's take a look at the playoff bracket. Our friends at eFIBA were nice enough to show us how it was done. Our guy Nate Patrick did a great run through, but let me see if I can find the graphic here. There we go. Perfect. Beautiful. So this is kind of how the structure is going to work. So this is the North American structure. We have 6 teams. USA Basketball, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Guatemala, Cayman Islands, and Barbados. As of right now, USA, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico are all in the top 3 spots. Whoever gets that #1 seed goes directly to the regional finals to take on the winner of the second and third place team. So getting that first round bye is absolutely massive. Plus, that regional finals, JT, is best of 3, not best of 1. So getting just to that finals is already an advantage just because, like we said, the best of 1 series sometimes can be a bit fluky. You never know when a team is just going to catch you for a game.
Yeah, that best of 1, it can go any way possible. You can be one of the teams that 2K just hasn't been on your side at all, and you could take down the best because it's just one time. One time, it can be real random, real fluky, but that's a 3, that's adjustments, that's how you're prepping, that's really if they take your strong suits away, how do you bounce back from that? Best of 3 is no excuses, like, there are no fluky and random best of 3 winners. If you beat a team twice out of 3 times, that means you were the better team that night for the basketball game.
Well, like I said, we do have more games coming up for USA basketball tonight. Two more games. Next one coming up against Guatemala. Already took down the Cayman Islands, Barbados in a forfeit, and then now Puerto Rico in a really big win. You know, JT, if you're the Dominican Republic, right, and you've been really vying to take down, the USA in 2K. Obviously, they took the gold medal back in 2021, but you just lost to Puerto Rico, and you just saw USA beat Puerto Rico. How are you feeling? Like, what do you think the mentality is over there on that DR team?
It has to be this is a must win. This is a game to where we have to come in. One, take care of the ball, keep them out of transition. Two, key in on J Red. Make sure he's not getting all these open looks because even though we just watched him hit 7 threes, he could have hit it at least 10. He was missing open as well. So key in on him and really make them score. Kind of like lean to make them use that dimes pop a lot more. Dimes is one of the best in the world, don't get me wrong, but we know what state shooting is in. So if you're going to live with anybody shooting the ball, it has to be the lowest three ball on the court, which would be the pop center.
In this game of 2K, do you believe that USA should be using a popper? Do you think they should go back to the inside? I guess with how high octane our offense can end up, having that popper out there, just another 3-point shooter, probably the way you want to go. You might lose a little bit of rebounding, I would say skill points, but I mean, you got Dimes down there. The man knows how to rebound.
I feel like it's really contingent on who your center is.
Yeah.
Does your center have the IQ to really utilize the pop, to know when to slip, to know when to slip pop, to know when to just pop, to know when to off ball pop? It's so many different ways to use a pop that opens up backdoor cuts out the corner or cuts off the wing. Like the way you can really use a pop, that comes down to what plays are the coaches calling, what plays are the players calling, and also what IQ do the players have to use that ample amount of spacing on the court. So if you know what you're doing, like, we have Dimes, he's a former point guard. Of course, he has IQ. He sees the court better than most, and he's at the center position. So I think him at top on the center is the right call.
Well, I'm interested to see what this USA basketball team brings into their next lineup. So we mentioned the skill boosters. What are skill boosters? So the skill boosters are a new thing brought out by eFIBA for this tournament to kind of add a little bit of extra fun to the game of 2K. So they'll add some basketball stats. So our skill boosters this time around, where a player gets a triple double, you hold a team under 30 points, you have a assist to point ratio of 35%, which is a bit funky. And then the fourth one, which is difficult for any team to get that isn't an underdog, is beating a team with 10 points or more than you in the official standings. So that is an underdog skill booster to allow teams at the bottom of the standings to try to work their way up. Obviously, JT, since USA basketball is first in the group, not behind anybody, undefeated, the maximum amount of points currently, no need to worry about that skill booster. That does mean that they won't be able to get 5 tonight. They will be able to get a maximum of 3, and we have already gotten those skill boosters. So don't need to worry about them the rest of the night. We've already gotten the 3 extra points.
Which is, again, they're doing everything correctly. They're getting the skill boosters out the way. They haven't dropped a game. They're just hungry. They just want it a little more right now. But I think it's still 2 matchups left that we can't sleep on either one because you just never know who's really going to come in and show up and really just outplay you and just do just a little bit more, bring it a little bit more, want it just a little bit more than you. That can be any team because any team, any game, any day can beat you at any time.
So we were
I
going to
just
try
watched
to get some interviews up today. I'm going to hit up our guy Moody. There we go. I just got a text.
glass cleaning spot up threat. Hmm.
JT, you know what the best part about the internet is that you can do so many fun inviting things on here. Let me invite my good friend Moot into this Discord. We can get
Oh,
him on screen because I want to talk to our main man.
Coach of the year?
Hey, you know the vibes.
Coach of the year. Oh, this J Bullet build is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
I think you're pretty interesting. How about that?
I am. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hmm. 6'8", 253. Wonder why he made his build so heavy. What does making his build so heavy give him? Hmm. I
I'm
might
not
have
sure.
to do some. I might have to do some research on that because all my power forward builds are 233 because that's the cap.
Mhm.
That's the minimum weight you can be to have a 90 strength. And if you're all wondering at home why I want 90 strength, I want gold, immovable, and forklift. But he's 253, and I don't think his strength was even above 90.
All right, let's see if we can get Mr. Moody on here. Boom. Okay. There's the man. Let's see if we can get him into the chat because I want to talk to Moody. Go. See if he'll pop in for us. Make our lives easy. Hey, okay. Mr. Mood, how you doing?
How's it going? You want my camera on?
Yeah, if you don't mind, let me get the fancy setup going. Yeah, how it goes. There he is. Perfect.
There it
Okay.
is.
Boom. Here, watch
Yeah,
this.
sorry,
Ready?
there's a bit of a confusion, fellas.
Nah, you're fine. You know, we know you're a big shot. We know you had to get on the big eFIBA broadcast. We're just happy you had time for us. How about that? You know?
I
All right.
always got time for you guys.
There it is. Let's transition and give you an official little intro. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Moody, also known as Mr. Mitchell Franklin, your assistant coach for the E-National team here at USA Basketball. Also the reigning coach of the year for NBL Oz Gaming. Congrats to you, sir. But let's keep the focus on USA Basketball because obviously that's what we're doing here, and you've been such a huge part of this team. So how has the process been going from the 2KL to being on the USA USA Basketball E-National team coaching staff?
Yeah, it's definitely been different in a good way. Like it's been unique. Honestly, I can just keep getting to learn every day. These guys are the best of the best, so they just kind of make everything easier. Like there's not a whole lot you got to do on a day-to-day basis because they just
Yeah.
get it. And then it's almost too much if like you're talking or trying to do extra because there's already so many chefs in the kitchen. So it makes my life easy, and I get to sit back, kick my feet up at times, and get to just continue to learn. You know, I've kind of been a sponge in a way, obviously helping out whenever the guys or anyone needs any help. But I'm also able to learn so much because it's the best of the best, and you know, it's been a really cool experience.
Very nice. Yeah, it's been fun watching you also team up with E-National team head coach Lance Sessions and also assistant coach Josiah Cohen. Obviously, you guys are opponents during the season, but teammates now. I mean, the season just ended. Was it kind of weird going from opponents to now teammates? What's it been like working with them?
It hasn't actually, to be honest. You guys kind of know how the 2K League is. Everyone's friends,
Yeah.
or everyone respects each other. I respect Lance, Josiah, Jeff, Brad, everyone involved, JP. So for me, it was just like hopping in. You know, a lot of people forget I actually was an assistant coach to start out with on a winning team and organization. So coming into this, I've already been in this role before. So it was a pretty smooth transition. It's also really cool. Like I said, there is some difficulties at times, nothing too dramatic, just because you do have the best of the best. You know, it's different from hopping in and coaching the 2K All-Star game to where people aren't going to try as much, and to jumping into this and, you know, the intensity, you got the best of the best in the world. So it's been a pretty smooth transition. Like I said, the staff and all the players just make it that much more easier. Because they just get it, and they're the best of the best at what they do, and it's really cool. Like I said, just not only to learn, but to sit back and watch how the players and staff, you know, do things on a day-to-day basis, you know, kind of learning from it.
Well, hey, last question for you because we want to get you back to the boys. Obviously, big game coming up against Guatemala before the closer against the Dominican Republic. So, you know, Moody, obviously you've been in the 2K community for a long time, both as a player, drafted first round of the NBA 2K League draft way back in the first season in 2018. You've been a player, you've been an assistant coach, you've been a head coach, coach of the year. How different is it preparing for an eFIBA match versus a 2K League one?
Man, you're making me feel a little bit old with that.
We are
No,
old.
but
Come on, buddy.
no, I'm getting up there, you know. But it's honestly, I would say it's not it's unique. That's the best way I can describe it.
Okay.
It's different from anything you can compare. And like I said, you have the best of the best around you staff wise and players wise. So I feel like preparation and everything and game planning is just it's easier.
Mhm.
Like it just is. Everyone just makes it so much easier and everyone gets it. So I will say though, which Harris, you've been in the Discord in and out and stuff. The intensity is kind of cool. It kind of feels like for every single game, no matter who you're playing, that you're kind of like in an NBA 2K League playoffs like atmosphere.
Sure.
Like everyone's intense. They want to win because it's significance. You're representing USAB. I mean, everyone knows what you're representing. They know the task at hand, and they know we're at the end of the day we're the favorites. So everyone there's kind of a target on our back. So like I said, it's really unique and it's different, but the intensity and the atmosphere it's pretty awesome.
Well, Mr. Moody, Mr. Mitchell Franklin, we appreciate you coming on the first ever USA Basketball National Coach Stream. It's a bit of a mouthful. We might have to work on that. But go back to the coaching staff. We'll see you guys a little bit later. We appreciate your time. Go tell the boys you say hello and congratulations on the big win over Puerto Rico.
Absolutely, guys. Job's not done. USAB, I'm coming after you guys if I don't get one of those coaching polos soon. I appreciate you guys.
We'll see you.
Yeah, have a good one.
Always fun to see Mr. Moody here live on stream. A good man, a good guy, a better coach. It's nice to see him. I got to get a clip from that interview up, JT. What do you make of Moody's run? Obviously, you two were drafted in the same year back in 2018, both first-round picks. What's it been like for you seeing his adventure through the 2K community?
It's been dope to see because I feel like I watched 2 different paths in front of me from a OG. Like, I was playing Moody before the 2K League even came around, back in 2K16, 2K17. I was playing Moody back then. We were kinda rivals back then, and now I'm watching a player go to coach, and me, myself, I'm a player to commentator. So, it's always amazing to really see the older players who really, like, are more pioneers and kinda started and laid down the groundwork for players to actually do what they do now,
Mhm.
just move on to a different path and excel at it. Like it's just amazing to watch. So to watch him go from that and just really turn into coach of the year. And I've seen him struggle in the league. I've seen myself struggle in the league. And just look at us now. Like it's an amazing thing to watch. And I couldn't be any more proud and, thankful.
Hey, he's a good dude, man. It's always nice for the good people in the community to get, positions they deserve, positions they work hard for. So shout out to our main man, Mitchell Franklin, as we are cooking up here on the USA national team co-stream. Been a lot of fun so far. 1 game down, 2 game to go, JT. Let's refocus here on Guatemala, a team that has struggled a lot here, but you never want to overlook anybody in 2K. What do you think the mentality should be for our USA boys going into this game? Obviously, you want to win by as much as possible, but it is also a setup game for DR coming up right after this. How do you think they should be kind of feeling going into this game?
All gas, no brakes. They
Okay.
should literally be come in and really just for 4 quarters play good basketball, play our tempo, work on comms, keep having good comms, keep having those communications to really like know how to rotate how you should. But this just you can't come in downplaying them. You can't come in taking it easy. You really have to come in just all gas, no brakes, and just looking at it like this can't be just a warm-up game. This has to be a game where they are a worthy opponent like everybody else. And if it ends up being, a game where you win by a lot, that's what happens. But come in really just looking at them like everybody else, all gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes. I like it. That's kind of your broadcasting style. All gas, no brakes. You know a lot about that.
Oh, I try.
Indeed, you do. Now, let me get some links up here so we can link everybody to the show that we're watching on here on Twitch and YouTube. By the way, shout out to everybody watching us on all the various channels. We appreciate everybody's support. If everybody is enjoying these, we'll hopefully do a couple more of them. Obviously, USA Basketball on the 2K side, we are not close to being done yet. We have the regional finals coming up next week. So if we continue to play well over these next 2 games, you might actually only see us for 1 best-of-3 match before we head to Sweden, JT. Sweden is on the line. We're going to Scandinavia to play some 2K. But obviously, we still got a long way to go before that.
Man, when I heard that's where the finals would be, I'm like, could you ask for a better opportunity? Could you ask for a more crazy, unique experience? Like 2K's taking you there. I think that's always the mind-blowing thing at times, and I even went through as a player and, now a commentator is just where the places 2K can take you. Growing up playing 2K, we never pictured this. We never imagined this. Like I'm looking at another player, I came up with Dimes. I've known Dimes for since 2K12. We're in 2K24 now. Like I've been playing with and against Dimes for 12 years.
JT, I already made fun of
And
Moody for feeling a little bit old. Don't make me make fun of you too.
I mean, I'm the oldest, so like I'm used to it. Every time I say I'm 30, I hear the same response over and over again. I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm old, but don't worry. I'm seasoned. I'm a veteran, but I'm still one of them ones. Like I still hop on the game now. Like I'm old, but I can still get up with them. So it's like I could do excellent up here and still go play what they play and still do my thing, hold my own. So don't sleep on the forehead.
Hey, I'll never sleep on you, JT. You know that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our fourth game coming up here against Guatemala. It has been a tough trip for Guatemala through this tournament. So we'll see if our USAB boys can handle business. Let's go through the Guatemala starting five and hope I don't butcher the names. You got Soymelia, Lossie the Goat, G King Joker, and then the last two names faded off the screen before I could get them. Come on, man. You got to keep You're killing me. You got to keep those
I
nameplates up faster.
think you forgot JX Janvier,
Thank you.
and then I'm not sure the other one that we may have left. Oh, there it is. No, well, yeah. Okay. So Lossie, Melia, Janvier, Darren, and the center.
Media foul.
Okay.
So the good news, like I mentioned, JT, is that USA does not need to worry about skill boosters. They don't need to worry about anything except just simply getting the W. I think that's a pretty big advantage for us. Just not, you don't have to worry about anything. You just get to roll in, play your game, go home happy. It's a good spot to be in.
Yeah, we're talking about some of the best players in the world here. So to try to hold a team under 30 points is pretty stressful. That literally makes every point. That's only 15 twos. We're not even talking about threes. That's 15 twos in 20 minutes of basketball. It's hard to hold a team under that. So the fact that in these last two games they don't have to do that, that's huge. That makes their job, I won't say way easier, but significantly easier because they still have to win. But they don't have to win just in an explosive way.
Shout out to Moody in the chat. We appreciate you too as well. So USAB still looking for their first points of the game. We'll see if Guatemala can strike first, and they will miss. Down the court to Johnny, over to CB. That three-pointer, that will fall, and we are off and running.
That was a great mid-range. Great mid-range. Just got to knock it down, and then CB13 hit the catch and shoot fade almost in the right corner.
I feel like this is going to be a CB game. Last game felt like a Johnny game. This one feels like a CB game to me. There you go. There's a two.
I don't know. Jared is averaging 40 points, so I think every game might be a Jared game at this point. But
touche, sir. Touche.
We'll see. We will see.
See how the USA defense gets going here.
Dimes just missed it. He has to go up there. Dimes missed that steal by a mile. Like the way it took him out to play, he has to go up. And now that's a free break.
Nice shot. Easy one there.
Okay.
Boys are starting to cook.
CB game. Might be a CB game.
Ooh, threw it at his face. Yikes. Duck for cover. CB, easy too.
Might be a CB game. He actually tried to bail out there, and that's what caused that turnover. He tried to bail out of his shot.
Oh my goodness.
No way, right?
We said it was going to be a CB game, and yeah, he's making us look quite smart right now.
And he actually had a great start last game. It's just J Red kind of finished it off, but CB13 at halftime had 11 points, 4 for 6 from the field, 3 for 3 from three. Like he actually started off well last game as well.
We got to keep a CB point counter for this game. I feel like he is going to absolutely cook.
Dimes jumped and that still went in. That's a great Fifi. And for those at home that do not know what a Fifi is, it is a play call. So where when the point guard, most of the time, or ball handler runs to the middle of the court, the opposite corner cuts and that opposite wing slides to that corner, which usually catches that opposite wing defender on by surprise.
It's so funny because I was on a another 2K creator stream the other day, and he was watching old New York Knicks versus Miami Heat highlights. And it was so funny because all these guys were wide open in the corner, and instead of just staying in the corner and taking threes, they all kept cutting to the basket. And it was so funny thinking about how much. Oh, CB hits another one. It was so funny thinking about how much corner offense has changed in the NBA. I mean, backdoor cuts are a specialty nowadays. You got to stay out there and knock down them threes.
Yeah, like that's a big part of it. Like being able to really knock down those shots is game changing. Like it's okay to backdoor slash finish at the rim. CB13 is having a game,
He is
man.
going crazy.
He is literally having a game. Just phenomenal basketball. Hands up dimes. That should be off. Oh, he got the rebound. Oh, he's cold. Yeah, when you're cold on 2K, your ratings drop by, if I'm not
A million.
mistaken, 10 points minimum. So with shooting already
Sheesh.
very challenging, not again, right?
This was going to be one of those games where you hope that the USA was going to be able to comfortably win. Looks like they're on that way now. I'm interested to see how USA plays defense here. I thought versus Puerto Rico, they looked good, but they allowed too many open shots. Puerto Rico was struggling to hit them. Ooh, that's an easy way to play defense. It'll be an easy three on the other end as Dawsix knocks it down. 30-2 already, JT. The boys are feeling good.
Feel like this will now be a game for them, seeming that they have one game left after this. This is the game that everybody on USAB needs to get their jump shot down. We know shooting is very challenging, so look for all five to really take their turns at running plays and to create opportunities for all of them to get open looks. So when they go into this DR game, if they maintain this lead, because even though they are up 28 points, it is still only the first quarter. It's 3 quarters of basketball left, so can't count them out yet. But I can say getting everybody an ample amount of shots should be the focus.
This man, this man CB13 has 25 points in the first quarter. Oh, and he gave that one up to John. He probably could have shot that himself. Wow. 36-2. What a quarter.
He
Man,
has that Mamba mentality badge. So even though he has sharp badge and he's hot shooting from beyond the arc, he also has playmaking take. So he was unselfish, gave that pass up to J Red. Very unselfish play. Get him a shot to get him involved.
that'll be a miss.
See?
What feels like one of the first misses of the game so far. And oh,
Oh,
man. Yikes.
12%. I'm surprised that was actually a 12% right there. Dom's is just down there holding the interior down. He's
Mhm.
he's playing magnificent down low. Great paint D. Guatemala is struggling to shoot right now, so they are resorting to rim running, which is what we call when teams like look to put their head down, go to the rim and get a bucket. But Dimes, he's down there. They're in this nice little 2-3 zone. Dimes is down there, hands up. He's only given up 2 buckets in about 6 minutes of basketball, which is great because they've taken over 10 plus shots down there.
Wow. CB again gets it to go. I
What?
guess when you're this hot, man, you can't miss.
Nah, he not supposed to hit that one. They played great defense there.
Nice shot again from CB and a little dance afterwards. 30 points. We're through a quarter and a half.
Oh,
My oh my.
Now Dimes has Mamba mentality.
I got mama mentality. Sheesh. Oh my goodness, again. CB
Ma-
33 points.
Dimes has 2 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. He is really putting on a show.
What is
Hands up,
happening?
putting on a show.
Wow.
How many steals does he have?
Yeah, T
3.
Springs. Yeah, 48-4. I believe Guatemala already has an AI player out there. So they get the alley-oop to go to make it 48-6.
That actually seems to be their most effective offense right
Oh,
now because
oh
Dimes
no.
is trying to play a lot. Great ball
Ah,
movement.
it's an unfortunate miss.
Dimes is trying to play a lot, so the 4 of their 6 points are from oops, or now 4 of their 8 points are from oops, because since he's trying to play so much, the oop goes slightly over his head. Okay. 4 on 5. They have numbers. That shot might have been a yeah. That shot is way too deep, and I doubt he has enough takeover to where that shot's screenable.
You know,
Dimes is so open.
it is funny to talk about Dimes, right? I feel like most of the 2K community may remember him as, a point guard. He was the #1 overall pick in the NBA 2K League draft way back in the first season ever, the first ever pick in 2K. He was a point guard then for the Dallas Mavericks organization, Mavs Gaming. Look at him now, JT. One of the best centers in the world. Is it hard to make that kind of changeover and stay at this level? Like, talk about the skill that it takes to swap positions and still play at the highest of levels.
I've always said that people sometimes call me crazy. If you play point guard at a high level, an extremely high level, you should be able to play any of the other 4 positions. So him making that transition, I feel like at point guard, he had somewhat of just like a mediocre career as a point guard.
Mhm.
But when he made that transition to center, you've seen it in both years. Like he's never been outside of that top 10. He's always been one of our better players. So is it difficult? I think so, because if it wasn't everybody who wasn't the best at their position or in the top 1/3 of their position, they would just go to center and do their thing or change a position and do their thing. That's not an easy feat at all. Like I have to tip my hat his way to
Wow.
just go down there and just be commanding and really be a culture changer as we've seen him do at Bucks Gaming last year. Like that's phenomenal. I can only tip my hat to what he's done.
I am so excited to see this halftime box score. I am I am buzzing. I am very excited to see what this looks like. This is going to be one of the most impressive halftime box scores I think you will ever see in 2K. Obviously, USA Basketball scored 180 points in a 2K game, JT. And from a scoring perspective, that was the most ridiculous box score I've ever seen. But just based off of the recent 2K patch and just how hard it is to score, I mean, 64 points against another professional team is really difficult to pull off. It's actually quite impressive for USA to even be able to execute at this level. I know they got the talent, but this is a lot of points in a very short period of time.
Yeah, this is really that game that they needed if they could hold on. Because again, they're up 56, but still one half of basketball that makes 53, actually. Sorry. They're up by a lot, but they have to, like I said, all gas, no brakes. Like they're about to go in the halftime up 50. You
Wow.
can't change that. You can't stop that. Don't slow down. Don't let up. Continue to put the pressure on them. Be aggressive. Find your shots. Play your tempo. Play your team defense. Really keep that momentum going to finish off 9-0 to go into the DR game with a strong sense of confidence and momentum and urgency, knowing you still have one more game left to lock in that regional spot to get that best of 3.
Well, there you go. Halftime score. I got to get my clipper ready so I can get the box score.
38, 1 miss.
Yes, there
Oh,
it is.
oh,
Wow.
38, 1 miss.
Wow.
38, 1 miss.
38 points, one missed shot.
And I think he just missed. So he
Yeah.
hit his first 14. He
Wow.
just missed. I almost wish he didn't shoot it. I knew when he shot it, it was off. But, when you hit the last 14, I would think number 15 is going in too.
Yeah, me too. Wow. 67-11. I got to get this graphic up on Twitter. I am blown away.
Yeah, they're just playing really aggressive. Guatemala's most effective offense has been oops. I'm pretty sure 6 of their 11 points are from oops.
Yep.
So that is what they're resorting to now. They are struggling shooting mid ranges and beyond the arc. So they are resorting to oops. But if they keep throwing too many of those, they're going to let Dimes get a quadruple double, which would actually be pretty cool to see. Because I don't think we've seen one yet. I could be wrong. I
Seen
haven't
what?
seen every game. I don't a quadruple double.
No quadruple doubles yet. Couple been close. We had a guy who had a triple double with like 8 steals. One guy had 7 blocks, so it's gotten close, but
Great shot. Now USAB are starting to kind of press, full court press, but also give up. They're letting them shoot. I feel like Guatemala has to take these shots with confidence and just knock them down. Like they're swarming. See, that's a wide open shot. Live with it. Hit or miss, you live with it. That's
yep.
a great play. Team takeover. And for those at home that doesn't know what team takeover means, something I like to always say in the 2K League, that means it's party time. That means that all 5 players get all of their specialties. They all get takeover, and they get it for a, a very extensive time period. So it's 5 players that are just significantly better at the game, no matter what the overall is. So if you're a 99, when you have team takeover, try to say it's 5 120s running around.
81
Every,
to 17. This has
every,
gotten a little out of hand here, JT.
it has, but can't let up. Dimes is putting on a performance, but they're again, I feel like their whole team is getting shots up. That's important because this next game is important. But if even if US is 9-1, doesn't that lock up the number 1 seed after this win?
Oh, so now that after this one, you're correct. So since the Dominican Republic fell to Puerto Rico and we beat Puerto Rico, we will clinch the number 1 seed. That's a good eye there, Mr. JT. That's why you're the best of the best. That's why you're hashtag him. There you go.
See, and that's why we're seeing what we're seeing. They're playing for something right
Yep.
here.
They're playing for the
This is
clinch.
just that hunger, that grit. They're playing for everything. Green bean machine.
And it's
Like
interesting
that's
because the game against DR, it's not that it doesn't matter because every single game matters, right? But like they just by holding up their business and playing the way playing the way they should play, right? Playing with determination and execution, they've been able to take the teeth out of the biggest game of the night and make sure that no matter what happens, they're set. So very well done by USA Basketball. Just to you never want to leave it up to chance, right, JT? You never want to leave it up to those best of ones. You take care of business, you do what you got to do, and you make sure that you are always in the best place to succeed. And man, they are executing at such a high level today. I'm almost disappointed we didn't get to see them play Barbados just because, again, it would have been great to see how this team can play when they're really at the top of their game.
Yeah, I just love how they just never really let up. And that's starting from day one, game one. Like, of course, we've seen them go 5-0. Then a couple weeks pass. So that's time for more teams to prep. Me and you always have spoken over the years how people start to catch up, how people start to hit back. But even when people are starting to hit back and it's 20-20, what do they win by? 20. A 20-point second half difference. That is just you can't teach that want to. You can't just make anybody want it more. And right now, they just want it more and they're playing at a phenomenal rate as Dimes might be going for, from what I see, the first 10, 20, 20 that we'll see in this. I'm pretty sure nobody has that stat line.
No. By the way, Mr. Vince Chang in the chat reminded me that we have had quadruple doubles this season. One coming from Mr. Youngstar from Puerto Rico, 15 points, 13 boards, 10 assists, 10 steals. So we have had one clinch it. And by the way, with where the
Oh,
score is at for this game, once the fourth quarter starts, we're going to do a bit of a quick interview here. We had Mr. Moody on already, Mr. Mitchell Franklin. We are actually going to have Josiah Cohen on for an interview here in a second, which should be very exciting. I gotta change up the old graphic here.
I'm proud of
Josiah
him too.
Cohen. We'll call him an assistant coach for the national team. There we go. Perfect. Here we
I'm
go.
proud of him too.
Oh, me
He
too,
came
man.
he came such a long way. I remember when he was just writing articles, not associated with the league at all.
Yep.
He was writing articles back when I was one of the best. That was stone ages ago. But I'm just proud of him.
Well, right now it's 107 to 27. Once the fourth quarter starts, we'll get into our interview, and then we'll obviously come back for the final score and the screenshot.
Young star with a triple double, and
Yeah.
he's
Ain't that
usually a
something?
guard.
Ain't that
Yeah, he's
something?
usually a guard. So him going down to center and getting it done, I can only, pat his back. Like that's amazing because he's not even known as a big man. He's
Yep.
known as a guard.
By the way, while we're waiting for the fourth quarter to start, I gotta say the USA basketball polos, man. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, these things are great. These things are fine. They're comfortable. They look good. They got the swoosh. I mean, I feel like a celebrity in this shirt.
I put it in my group chat because I
Oh
just
man.
got the fresh cut. It was like, bro, yo, cut fire, but the polo might be even more fire. I'm like, hey, chill on my cut. But yeah, like I kind of now I need the one you got too. I
Sure.
got this one. I need them both.
Gotta get the other one.
I
Yeah,
need
I
them
feel
both.
that. All right. Well, the
I
fourth
need them
quarter
both.
has begun. It is a shocking 120 to now 31. We'll get Josiah in here in a second. And there he is, right on cue. Mr. Josiah, you okay turning your camera on for us, or you want an audio interview?
I
Oh,
would
he's
be
got his
delighted.
camera
Be
on. Wow.
delighted to talk to two of my favorite
Wow.
people in the 2K community right here.
This is an honor, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get back to gameplay in a little bit, but as of right now, we got Josiah Cohen, another assistant coach for the E-National team here at USA Basketball. Josiah, it is a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, a big game coming up next against the Dominican Republic, but just based off of the way that today has gone, USA Basketball is going to clinch the #1 seed before that game even starts. Does that change up kind of the mentality going into this game, or is it still win at all costs?
Absolutely not. I think everyone on that team wants to win. That's a huge part of their character, which is help them become great 2K players, and that doesn't just stop after clinching anything. So we're going to frame it as we haven't clinched anything, and we got to go right after DR.
I like that mentality. So let's talk a
Like,
little bit about you. What's been your role on this coaching staff? Obviously, with Warriors Gaming Squad, you wear a lot of different hats, but what do you do specifically for USAB?
Yeah, it's been really nice with USCB having you worry about the content. I don't have to try and compare myself to anyone else and try and chase content greatness that you guys have. It's been a lot of stats focused stuff, but as I always say with quantitative research in 2K, the more film you watch, the better that will be for your stats, and the inverse goes as well. So the more stats you do, the better your film watching will go. So I've been very lucky with the Warriors and Warriors Gaming Squad to have two other people on staff in Rustin and until recently Mike. So that's really taught me a lot about working with two other people on staff, and working with Lance and Moody has been tremendous. I mean, the last two coaches of the year right there. So we've done a strong job, and we look to continue improving our teamwork, our chemistry, and helping all the players improve their own as well.
You mentioned stats and qualitative analysis. You're the stat man around here. What does that mean inside of the game of 2K? How do you use stats to give you an advantage in a video game?
Yeah, I think the great thing about 2K is that you inherently have access to more stats than you might have from just watching a basketball game. And obviously, there are a lot of different applications being developed to give you more real-time stats in traditional basketball. But in 2K, you have access to things immediately, right? You've seen this year 2K added a distance for the shot, and that's been available in years past, but now that's immediately available. So being able to harness those things and try and construct a better player. Obviously, there are a lot of commonly held conceptions about stats in 2K and about the box score in 2K. but I think it's just a different way of looking at a box score. It's not saying, all right, yeah, the box score doesn't tell me everything, but it's looking at, all right, what does the box score imply? And what can we derive from the box score to have it tell us more on top of watching the game?
Well, there's not a lot to derive from a box score of 149-42. Little score update for USA over Guatemala currently. It's a bit of it's a good coming out party for USA basketball team that obviously against Puerto Rico, a little bit slower, a little bit more defensive before the fourth quarter pull away. But a game like this before the Dominican Republic is huge. Where do you think this team's mentality is going into this last game, and then also into the regional finals coming up, I believe, in 2 weeks?
Yeah, these are good games. I think even with the games against federations without as many professional 2K players, such as DR and PR, or that they have those against Guatemala, Barbados, they're good 2K players on those teams too. So I think it's a good chance to play against different play styles, and the more one expands one's mind and one's ability to react to different things in 2K, the more prepared one is for the high stakes, high competitive games, and I think that's what we're on track to do right now.
Man, that's a great answer. I love that. That was fantastic.
I got you, Harris.
That was great. You say you're not the content man here, but I know you always the content man. Josiah Cohen, thank you for joining us. We want to get you back to the team before the big game against the Dominican Republic, and we'll close out this fourth quarter here as USA basketball looking to move to 9-0 and clinching that number 1 seed. But hey, like Josiah said, not playing that last game like it's anything else than a must-win. Josiah, thank you for joining us, and tell the guys we said congratulations
Thank you
to
both.
the 2 big
Thank
wins
you
back-to-back. All right, buddy, we'll see you. Let's get back to the game, JT. 159 now to 42. Ooh, there we go. He's gone. Now I got to come over here. I got to click your picture. There we go. Now you're up on the big screen. 159 to 45, JT. Things are getting a little out of hand.
Which is, what they needed. And if they have the mindset that Josiah had, that will be their last game until their best of 3, until that regional match. You don't want to lose your last game going into the biggest best of 3 match that you've had of the tournament so far. You want to continue that momentum, continue that confidence, continue that good faith of just playing good basketball on both ends. That's why that DR game is so important. It is special that they really come in and handle business and get it done. Even though they've locked in their regional, so what? That doesn't mean nothing. You're not done yet. Job's not finished.
Nope.
Until the job is finished, there's no time to celebrate. There's no time to get geeked. There's no time to be happy. So if the job's not finished, you don't play like it is. Job's not finished, you don't let up. You could go into DR almost treating them like you just treated this game right here. You go in looking at nobody any different. You play your basketball, and how the game turns out, it turns out. You live with that.
Well, it looks like this game is about to come to a close. Apologies to Josiah. I might have to wait a little bit to get his interview back up because we're about to get to the end of this game. And JT, nothing I love more than a box score from a big win. So I'm you know me. I'm getting that box score. I will not be denied.
They're getting very hot. They're getting just super comfortable. This team has just went from their 3rd game of the day. They had 20 at halftime. Then they had a 40-point second half. Now they just dropped 167 in one game in the new patch, in the update. They're 13 short of the world record in this update, Harris. This update, they're 13 short, and they'll probably score again. 10. Short by 10. They're short by their own record by 10 points in this update, in this patch, where the game is significantly more challenging. That's really impressive and really a great note to leave off on, to stamp, to clinch that region, but also to go into the final game to try to go 10-0.
Let's see how USAB closes this one out. Cease back out to CB. He tries again. That won't go. Dimes will take it.
3. Go up.
He'll go up with it, get into the line.
Lay me!
Lay me.
Like, that's ooh. Oh, he's trying to go for 100.
No way.
CB13 has 99 and 12.
He's
They're
99
gonna foul.
points.
99 and 12. Oh, they can't foul.
You're
They
kidding.
can't foul. No, don't block it.
99 points. Whoa, give me that box score. Thank you very much. Wow.
35 for 40, 26 for 30 from
Holy
3,
moly. I don't think I've ever seen that in a professional 2K game before.
99 and 12 here. He didn't just score 1 point short of 100.
Whoa.
He had a double-double. It was 12 times he gave up chances to score. Oh, man. What a
Wow.
game by CB13. You called it, though. You called it. You said it
I
would
said
be
it
a
was going to be
CB
a
game.
CB game. Bro, that's a
You said
little
it was
bit
gonna
more
be
than
a
I
CB game.
expected. Hey, man. Wow.
I don't think we'll see a game better than that. Do we still have games left to be played? 100%, but 99 and 12, that will be a tough feat to beat. That is a ridiculous individual performance by
99?
CB13. 99
We've
and
been watching
12.
competitive 2K for a long time, bro. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. Wow.
99 and 12. I'm telling you, I'm more impressed with the fact that he still managed to have a double-double. He managed
Wow.
to score 99 points and give them 12 assists. He was unselfish while almost cracking triple digits. That's
Wow.
ridiculous here.
All right,
Ridiculous.
let me get that box score up and then we can take a closer look at it because that is a absolute thing of beauty. Wow.
Like,
Wow.
90. Johnny Red, J Red, he even got his average. He had 41 and 13. He even got his average. That's the kind of game they had. That CB13 not only had 99 and 12, J Red came in and had 41 and 13. And then Dimes, if memory not too bad, Dimes had 12, 24, 20. So 12 points, 24 rebounds, 20 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks. But Harris will pull up that box score, and we'll see just
I'm
how
getting it
good my memory
right
is.
now.
And I'm pretty sure J Red was 14 for 19 from the field. I'm pretty much a numbers guy, Chad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Harris knows a lot of just in general nerd stuff. I'm simply a numbers nerd, nothing else.
Wow. Wow.
See?
99
Yeah.
and 12. 35
Mm,
of 40, 26 of 30 from the field. That is absolutely stunning. That is absolutely world-class stuff from CB13 there. Wow.
look at that.
Wow.
12 assists,
It's
3
it's
steals,
beautiful.
3
I mean,
steals with no defense.
we're ignoring the fact that
Like,
Dimes had 20 assists as a center. That's how ridiculous this box score is.
yeah, see, and I told you he was gonna get that first triple double that has 20 assists, 20 rebounds, but he also had 5 steals and 2 blocks. Like, this team just played a phenomenal game. Like, nobody on their team had under 6 assists. That's what you call unselfish basketball. 12, 13, 6, 7, 20. 3 of the 5 players had 12 assists or more. That's just called great team ball.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's the one thing. JT, it's easy, I think, in 2K to collect talented players. It is not easy for those talented players to play together as a team like this. I mean, they had 61 made buckets on 58 assists. That is really, really hard to do. Like, there were only 3 shots that just came from like basic ISO. I mean, all of their shots were assisted. A lot of them came off of turnovers. 46 made threes on 58 assists. I mean, this is one of the prettiest box scores I've ever seen. And fair play to Guatemala, that they're coming into this. This is a really difficult game for them. They've had a really tough tournament, but man, just to be able to execute at this high of a level with these 5 guys, I mean, the sky is the limit. It really is.
Like, that's 61 makes here. 61.
Sheesh.
58 of their 61 makes were assists. They were passes. That you can't teach that. You can't, like we said, you have all these names, but names are just names.
Yeah.
Chemistry is a whole different ball game. Talent is just talent. But if you don't have that chemistry, if you don't have that structure, if you don't have that good system that the coaches, Lance Sessions, Moody, Jeff Terrell, Josiah, like everybody is pitching in. They're all doing a phenomenal job because this is what a great system with the best of the best in the world can put together. It's amazing. It was beautiful to watch that.
172 to 50 with 99 points coming for one player. I'm gonna have to cut a highlight tape of CB from this game, man. Wow,
Oof.
wow,
Only one,
that's a stunner.
only one turnover.
You know, it's funny, JT. We were talking about like the shooting problems and how difficult shooting is, and CB is like, all right, sit there, 26 of 30 from three. Wow, what a player.
Then, like all of them. Then J Red 13 for 18, Dawsix 4 for 5. And then, Super, he wasn't so fortunate. He shot 2 for 6, but like he was just trying to get up some by himself as well. But just the way we just shot the ball, 46 for 60 from beyond the arc.
Well, I for one am very
46 for 60.
I, for one, am very excited to see how this USA team. Hey, there's our main man, Moody. I am for one, very excited to see this USAB versus Dominican Republic game. I'm very excited.
Have to definitely close out strong, but it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Like if you're DR, you're playing for a lot as well. You dropped a big game today to
Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
They're trying to
That's
save
a
the 2
big
seed.
game.
They're trying to save the 2 seed, and that might be huge.
Save the 2 seed along with just gaining that momentum, gaining that confidence. USAB has beat you already. You need this game just for morale if you're Dominican Republic. I know you can't get the number 1 seed, whatever. You gotta control what you can control. That's it. But this game, it has to be a morale game for them. That grit, that fight, that determination, it has to be there. Above anything else, you have to close out strong going into this next round and trying to clinch that number 2 seed.
I think this is also a really important game because, you need to prove that you can win in multiple ways. And I think they've done that already tonight where, they've had 2 games against the Cayman Islands and Guatemala who, games they should win and have won pretty considerably. And then you also have the tougher games against Puerto Rico and the DR. Like you got to be able to look good, when you're going out to the club, JT, then you got to be able to look good when, you're just going to work every day, right? You got to have the 2 sides of it. It can't always be, the easy stuff. And I think this USA basketball team, to me, what's really impressed me is that even going back to the first week, they have shown a distinct ability to win in multiple circumstances. They can win when the heat is really on. They can win when they can, just kind of go back to executing, getting their base sets down and just kind of taking over a game. It's just impressive. And I wonder what version of the USA team are we going to see in this game? Because I feel like going against DR, just like we saw with Puerto Rico, that when they need to win these close games, sure, the offense can put up points when they want to, but it's the defense, man. The defense is what's going to lead them to these big wins.
I feel like they're just extremely warmed up now, so they're very dangerous. I I feel like I know DR is playing for that number 2 seed. USAB isn't really playing for as much because they're clinched number 1. They have that best of 3 already locked, but at the same time, that fight is just there. USAB is way too hot. This lineup is now going into game 3. They're completely warmed up now.
They're cooking.
I don't think it will be any rust. So that's where you're kind of in the danger zone if you're Dominican Republic right now, because this 5 is super hot. They're on fire. So if you don't come in and come with it, it could get bad quick because the basketball that USAB is playing right now is spooky and it is just downright phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really special that, dropping 99 points in one game is not an easy thing to do. Neither is dropping 172 points on any professional team. So I like it so far, JT. I like the way that this team plays. I like how they've been attacking all these different matchups. And now a very interesting game against the Dominican Republic. I'm fascinated to know what their lineup is going to be on the DR side of things, because it's not that they've been changing or whatever. It's just this Dominican Republic team, as we know, has a lot of talent on it. So what do you think we'll see from the Dominican Republic? Obviously, we know that they're going to come out firing, but a couple guys on their team, Jay Snags on that team as well, a couple other really good pro guys. What do you think we'll see from this DR team?
I feel like we'll see them This may be USAB's biggest challenge yet, maybe to produce on the offensive side. I think Dominican Republic is very hungry. Like
Mhm.
this is a very important game for the self-esteem. You don't want to go into next week and the week after that dropping 2 games in one night. You don't. That's just a big no-no because you already dropped the game before.
Yeah.
You already lost to USAB 2 weeks ago. So now to lose three, that has to be disappointing on their side. So coming in, I think Jay Snacks, led by Jay Snacks, this defense will be well put together, but I just don't know. This USAB team, they're just too hot. And I just don't know if anybody can stop them. Can they be stopped? Of course, we know that. But will they? We gotta wait and find.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The 5 are in. It is time for the penultimate game against the Dominican Republic. I cannot wait for this one, JT. I'm very excited. This is going to be a really, really fun game.
What is Dom's bill called? Inside the Arc Maestro. Never seen that before. That's very interesting. And I've, been in that builder quite often. Never seen that build title before. Might have to text him and, just ask him to show it to me because I'm not creating it. That's the one build I won't make this year. I'm not making this. Just no chance. But I want to see what do you have to make rating wise to come out with the title of Inside the Arc Maestro? And the funny part, it's called Inside the Arc, but he's a pop.
Mhm.
So he can shoot beyond the arc. So it's actually a pretty must be a pretty poetic build.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
it is time. It is finally time to check out USA Basketball. I keep doing that. USA Basketball taking on the Dominican Republic squad. Jay Snags, you got Crizzy out there as well. 2 NBA 2K League stars. C's is playing point guard. They got a new shooting guard who I've actually never heard of before, Mr. Koki CF. I've never heard of him before, so we will get a look at him today, JT. And then you got, of course, sitting there in the middle, you got Dawsix, feeling good, or at least on the USA Basketball side.
Yeah, you have 4 2K League players on DR for their biggest game yet. You got C's, you got Jarcy, you got Crazy, you got Jason Nice. And then this Koki guy. Never heard of him, but if he's playing in a game of this magnitude, I know he has game. I know he's one of the best. I know he belongs. I know he can compete. So I'm really ready to see as Steve takes a great shot. He just couldn't knock it down.
So let's talk a
That's
little
the
bit.
one.
Let's talk about him a little bit.
Go.
Let's talk about C's because he has been in the NBA 2K League for a couple of years now, been the primary point guard for Hawks Talon GC, obviously the Atlanta Hawks NBA 2K League representative. He has been a very, very good 3v3 player in his career, JT, but in 5v5, he's left a little to be desired. I would say that in big games, he has struggled, but in terms of a player who's got all the moves in his bag, he's got all the shots in his bag, he's got the talent. Let's see if he can wind it up for a big game.
They'll need it. They'll need it, and I feel like he needs it just from a confidence boost. I feel like he knows how good he is. He's just had moments as he does that right there. I feel like he's had moments to where he's showcased why he's one of the best in the league, but I do think just from knowing his expectations, there's times where he's felt disappointed that he could have done and should have done more. So I think in a game of this magnitude, I'm looking to see him really come out and really do his thing. As we've seen him first play the game, got open, missed. Right there, got open, knocked it down. I expect him to get open a lot. So if Dawsix isn't really fighting, look, quick 5 points. Quick 5 points by C's. Their first 5 points goes to C's. As read on the screen, Clemente.
Nice pull up there from CB. That won't go. Nice board from Dimes. Over to the corner. Cease for 3. That's an easy one. 5-5.
All right.
It's going to be a fun game. I'm excited for this one. You can already tell that the pace and the tempo is lower. Everybody's kind of staying home a little bit more. But Dawsix has been all over the lane so far.
Put it down.
Today. He's been great.
He has to keep that. I feel like Koki, he can get a
Oh,
crowd
my.
there, and they just
Good foul. Now you saw it there from Cease, was able to get away from Cease. There's a difference here. You got Cease, the starting point guard for the Dominican Republic, and then you have Cease, the starting power forward for USA Basketball.
Yeah, I just thought like enunciating those like very specifically so I can make sure like C's.
Cease.
Yeah. But that was a big shot by Varsity, that right corner, to give them a 3-point lead. So yeah, this is gonna be a really interesting game.
See how the USA cooks it up here. Down by 3. Little pop. Nope. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Johnny on the
Uh,
screen from Dimes. Great pick and roll. That was excellent.
right there though, Dimes has to pop quicker. I feel like he sat and held that screen thinking CB13 would come back top. So I'm not sure if that's just on lack of communication and CB13 not saying pop, but he had to pop a long time ago. But since he didn't back up off that screen to space the floor, it just wasn't an opportunity to get it to pop off. But they still scored.
Oh, that was lucky to get through. Cease, not lucky to get that one.
Yeah. Oh, great steal by Jay Snacks, one of our better defensive players in the 2K League. And he's only going into year 2. Had a phenomenal rookie year. Phenomenal. Jared, it's good if it goes like that. I'm telling you, like if you're scouting USAB and you're really going into it, really trying to zone in on them and make their life harder, step one has to be zone in on J-Red as Super Seas comes up with a great steal there. J-Red was a little too patient, looking for a standout there. And I'm really not sure what Dimes jumped at there, but fast break dunk after J-Red was a little too patient in trans. So Dominican Republic takes that 2-point lead.
Hey, you got to show a little bit, right? You got to show that jump is there. Nice pass down to Dimes. Over to Cease. Wide open for 3. Knocks it down. Cease has been great so far here early. He's got 6.
Right there, that wing just has to sell and trust that the team will rotate. Like I know he tried to play 2. Dawsix just made him put it. That might be clear. Whoa, that's a big clear path. That is
Ooh,
a
and he missed
huge
it.
clear path foul. He turned the ball over. Frustration reached because he got plucked. That's a huge. Hold on, he only hit 1. Oh, he smoked the first one. He had to.
Oh, Dimes could have shot that one. Didn't want it.
No, I don't like that.
Ooh.
Mm-mm.
Oh, no way. Yeah, that's a bit of a rainbow. Wow, what a board from Dimes and the bucket. Okay. Okay, Dimes.
Yeah, a little too much ball movement there. Like Dimes could have shot it. CB13 could have shot it. Then Super shot it in the left corner. But great cleanup by Dimes. That's what all great big men do.
That was a
Board man
sick.
has to get paid.
That was a crazy just play from USA. I mean, started at Johnny all the way over to CB, going back to the corner, missed the shot, big board from Dimes. I mean, obviously you want him to hit that 3 in the corner, but man, that was impressive.
That's open.
Yeah, he missed it.
Just kind of knock it down.
I really like the way that USA has started this game. They're playing well through their defense. They're forcing tough shots. Even when they're wide open, they're still, not perfect shots.
Flip pop
They're
coming.
protecting the ball on offense. They're making great
What I
passes.
say, Harris?
Yeah. The only thing that's
What I
hurting,
say, man?
only thing that's hurting USA basketball right now is missing threes. The ball movement has been just perfect so far. Those shots are going to fall.
Yeah. They should. Like as we just seen them have no struggle. J Red?
Yeah, I missed that one.
I like the look, but that's one of those shots to where you kind of need a little bit of takeover for. I'm not sure where his takeover meter is. And for those at home who are wondering what I'm talking about, you can have takeover when it hits 100% on the first column.
Mhm.
But to have more takeover in general just makes your player be better in every single way. It increases your green window. It makes your player a little faster. It just increases your rating when you have a higher takeover percentage, even if it isn't 100% to give you that takeover for the solo take.
Let's see what CB can do here. Down to Dimes. Back out to Cease. I love the movement. I just love how the guys are always trying to get open, different positions, dexing. They'll miss that time. But the offensive process so far for the USA has been there for sure.
He's definitely, especially when you have corners like you have two of our better offensive block and power forwards in Dawson and Super Seas,
Ooh.
especially in Super Seas. He's probably our best offensive power forward. Great part is probably our best defensive as well. He's
Mm.
just the best power forward in the world. So when you just add the things he has to his game offensively, that's a big shot. Very early, 10%. So slow down. Great
16
timeout.
16. CB13. No points after dropping 99. Isn't that funny how basketball works, JT? Sometimes you drop 99 points in a game, and sometimes you have 0 through a quarter and a half. I mean, he had 35 at this point in the last game. So, hey, you know how it can be.
Yeah, that's just where that's how it goes. Now, but this is where you show who you are. This is where Dimes is horsing. Like
He's
they
going
need to put a
crazy.
body on him. But that's the thing about boxing now, Harrison. Anybody can go put a body on him. Even if you make it to him and he throws you out the way, him throwing you out the way, he can't throw you out the way and get some ridiculously athletic jump to get the rebound.
Oh, that was a nasty pass. Yeah, so far the ball movement's been there, but the shots just not falling for USA. Only a 2-point lead.
Definitely making the right passes, definitely making the right plays, but they're just not knocking down these shots. That's a stack, and they dotted it in time, but they didn't knock it down either. Don't foul. That's a I don't like that goal by Jason Erickson. I'm not even sure he tried to. Maybe he tried to pump fake, but even pump faking there is very ill advised.
Oh, what a pass. Great cut from Cease. Great find. I love those assists that you can get from the point guard if you have a high enough pass accuracy, where they do almost like the whip passes with their full arm to get around defenders. The animation always looks so cool. I feel like that's part of the pro play stuff that 2K brought into the game this year, as Cease will get an easy dunk.
Stand dunk. Stand dunk is so meta. It was meta last year. It's meta this year. Stand dunk is very much needed because if you don't go up in time for the launch pad and you don't have stand up, you'll get a layup every time. But we're seeing what the pop opens
Whew.
up. Like as we see,
Wow.
oh my. Gotta
Wow.
green it. You hit a magnificent move like that, you have to green it, and he did.
Yep.
Great shot by J Red.
That's Johnny Red for you. I can't remember the last time he's made a ridiculous move and then missed. That's got his calling card. It's awesome. C's making a nice move of his own. Can't knock it down. That'll go out of bounds.
That pass went to Dawsix there. I wonder if he called for it. Usually transition breaks only go to a lock when it's a free dunk. They're just missing.
Yep.
They just
That's
can't
all it
knock
is.
down open shots. But this pop, they're just showing you why I said they should be on a pop. Like they're 4 for 11, and I'm pretty sure 10 of those 11 were open. The only
I got him up in the air.
non-open was CB13. See, there's no reason. There's no reason. This year, hands up. You put your hands up. He's missing that.
If
It's no way he has a 99 close, even with his high standard. You hold your hands up. That's all.
if I'm the DR, I am not feeling good about how this first half has gone. Oh, and the foul. They'll go to the line for 3. Yeah, if I'm the Dominican Republic team, JT, I'm probably feeling lucky that I'm only down 5 at this point. But also, I don't like how I don't think their defense has been up to the usual Dominican Republic par. They're one of the best defensive teams on the planet, and so far, the only thing that's keeping USA basketball from a double-digit lead has been just missed shots. They've been missing open. I wonder if we see a defensive adjustment coming in from the DR coming out of the second half.
Which really just goes into what I was saying. I did expect DR to come in and really he's moving. I
Who
could
is
tell
that guy?
he
He's good.
I I have no clue, but how he's dribbling, I could tell he definitely knows
Ooh,
what he's doing. Great defense
wow.
by Bostic guarding off ball. Even better defense by Jason X.
Yeah, he's living up to that name. He snagged that ball right out of the sky. I didn't even get a chance to blink.
Once he comes middle, expect the rotation. That's
And
what
they're doing a great job also of boxing out when DR is missing shots. I've really liked what I saw from Dime, Cease, Dawsix getting down there too to help instead of just flaring out. They're really trying to secure the boards. As Johnny, oh my goodness, he is just something else, man. Wow.
But he is that player you need. Like him being able to spread the court like that, that's huge. Great
Like
flare up.
he used to be
Oh,
he used to be the guy that we would call the X Factor. He is way past that now, JT. He's the best player on the court in a lot of the games. As that'll end the first half. Let me get my screenshot. Thank you. I love my screenshot. 2 of 9 from 3 for Dominican Republic, 5 of 12 for the U.S. So both teams struggling shooting the ball here from behind the arc. It's still a 7-point lead for USAB. I'd be feeling good
it
if I was
actually
them, but they can really, put the nail in the coffin here in the second half and finish 10-0.
we've seen that already. We've seen them have that 20-20 first half against Puerto Rico. And I think this half they'll come in looking to knock down shots. And 5 for 12 isn't
Uh-oh.
as bad as I thought.
No.
I thought they were shooting worse than that. That's
Honestly,
how
they
many
were
open looks they missed.
until I think Johnny started to take over there. He's 3 of 6. The rest of the guys are 2 for 6. So he's the one who's really leading the way, as he usually does.
J Red, man, great mid range by Jason Knights. It's crazy how pop is really like. You've been begging for a pop for a long
Oh, buddy, come
time.
on. I'm
You
standing over
got one,
here.
buddy.
I'm standing over here with a grin on my face. Come on, man. You know how I roll.
Jimmy?
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my, another fade. Once he gets that badge, it's like he just becomes he turns his brain off
He's
in a
the
good
man.
way. In a good way. He just turns his brain off and lets it go. You give him a slither of space, he just lets it go. Hands up, don't jump. Oh, they're swinging. They're swinging,
They're
swinging.
moving right now.
They're swinging, swinging, but that reach at the end was not needed. He just wasn't in position right there, which just led to a layup. But USAB getting comfortable. Up, slip. Off ball screen slip. Like I'm telling you, when you use that pop right, it's different. It's just different. That off ball slip, it was too quick for him. And these are, 4 out of 5 2K League players. So they know it's not something they haven't seen before. It's just they haven't used it yet. So it's useful. Great corner defense by Doms.
Ooh, look at the little mini. I love it. It makes me so
He's
happy.
starting he's starting to make him pay for it. Like
Yep, he
he
is.
just looked like 18-footer. Now that I was like a 13-footer. Oh, that's one thing I'm glad they added to. So I don't have to hear you for months call something way too far that's not as far as you're calling it. They say how far a shot is on the court now.
Yeah, I know. All right, I don't have to guess. Oh, dude, I was so happy when I saw that on day
6-footer,
one.
I'm like
Because I
Harris,
love that.
was
I'm like,
not
oh, it's a 30-footer, and it's like 24. He's right at the line.
yeah. I'm like, yo, Harris, come on, bro. Oh no. Great
Ooh.
defense by Dobbs. Great foul, great foul, great foul. But this game may get out of hand. I told you we've seen it. When you don't have that good second or first half to really put that pressure on USAB as they missed open shots and then Jared started to get hot. Now CB13, that's badge, like quick slip. Come on now, we call those.
Here, we're gonna
We call
swap really
those.
quick here. Whammo. There we go. We're gonna go over to the FIBA
Mm.
broadcast. We can see our guy Cease in the top left-hand corner. There we go.
He got the ankle breaker there, so I'm not mad at that mid by CB13. Don't play the ball quick no more.
Ooh.
That's what yeah,
Oh,
Downs
he
was
bit
just a
on it.
little late.
Good foul.
A little late.
Hey, Kraft is in the chat.
Ah,
Shout out to Kraft. We're hooping. Absolutely. I mentioned it earlier, Kraft. I love the extra level that USA can go up defensively. Like when they want to lock you down for an entire quarter, they got that in their bag. And it starts with Dawsix, who, I don't know if you've noticed this, JT. He has been blitzing the strong hand side of every single guard tonight, trying to get those plucks, trying to force them into uncomfortable situations. If it wasn't for J-Snags popping out a couple times, I don't know how much offense DR would really have in this game. He's horsing right now, too.
we just called that film. Like guards coming from a former point guard, we have our go-tos. We have things we're comfortable doing. We have things we want to do first and foremost. So once you make us switch that up, that's one heck of a play by Super C's to steal that ball from where he was just
Jeez.
at.
CB, mid-range, won't go. Looks like he got baited into that shot. I don't know how that wasn't open. I figured that would have been a contest at least.
Blinders.
Ah, of course.
Goal blinders, which made that open. That's too deep.
Ooh,
That's too deep without take.
that's a big
Whoa!
shot. They needed that one to stay in the game.
That may be the biggest shot of the quarter for them.
Absolutely. All right, see if CB responds.
Oh, right. Yep. You got the shooting guard on him. You got the switch you wanted.
Little crab.
You
Down
got
to
the.
Dimes. Where's the
You
corner
got.
pass? Nope. Yeah,
He
good
didn't go out of
timeout.
bounds.
Nah, good timeout. He was stuck
Interesting.
under the rim. See, that's the one thing with Dimes playing center that I noticed probably more than anyone else. He calls more timeouts than any center I've ever seen. He is so aware of that three in the key because he sits down there, man. He loves sitting in that dead zone right under the hoop. He always calls timeouts. It's one of the skills that he's gained at center over the years. Oh, what a shot from Charlie. He
That's
is
that being a
ice
point
cold
guard.
today, man. Wow.
Being a point guard, you can look at and you're used to calling it for you. You're big when they can't. So now that he's transformed and went to that center, he knows when to call it for himself because he's used to calling it for his bigs over the other years.
Oh, that's a big three back to back.
Big
Dominican
three are
Republic starting to
crazy.
fight back a little bit here. 7-point game. 3 here would be huge for USAB. Over to Cease, looking for it, knocks it down right on cue. That was very impressive from Charlie. Great find.
If Dimes is still behind the 3-point line, why are we swinging that much? And if at the minimum, why is that wing not going corner? That's just not great rotations by Dominican Republic. Another mid by Jay Snacks. He's
Dude,
looking
I
like
love this. This is great.
he's looking like prime David West.
He's
Like
looking like KG out there, bro. Do you see these elbow
look,
jumpers?
looks insane. Oh, he had it. Wait him out. Stand lock. See, that would
He
have
was
been
looking for it.
when I was just OD impressed. If Doms waited him out and then they threw a stand lock. But that was
Uh-oh.
something like,
Oh.
something me and Raymond would do.
Oh, good
Off
try.
ball.
All right, 44-36. You know what they say, JT? It's time to close. Closing time.
Oh, I didn't
Closing
know
time.
where you was going. I'm like,
Oh, great steal.
We'll see.
That's a great start. Johnny down the lane.
Oh,
Finger
yeah.
roll. Thank you. That was pretty.
That looks like the Magic Johnson dribble style.
Yeah.
The way he was
Yeah.
doing that playful
He did like
jog,
the
that
ball cradle. Yeah, he did like the ball cradle into it.
little just like his jog is so funny because it just looks so nonchalant.
Honestly,
He's
now,
just strolling down the court.
now I'm just waiting for the Magic Johnson behind the back pass. A little hee hee.
His pass style used to be. I loved it last year. I don't know how.
Oh, last year it was nuts. Last year your guy would like cradle the ball and then like throw behind your head to the three. It was nuts. That Magic Johnson package was crazy. Ooh, nice move from Johnny. Oh, easy to Dimes. Down low. Oh, he had Cease wide open. Charlie, oh my goodness. 27-footer. Sheesh. Almost 28.
So, I'm so glad they put that in the game.
I know. It's
I'm
great.
so glad.
It's
I'm
wonderful.
so glad.
It's great.
Thank you, 2K. You have just spared me. Thank you.
This spared me guessing. That's a 30-footer. It's from the hash. Relax.
That's a 34-footer. I'm like, Harris, there's no way it was that deep. It's just no way.
That's not
34
possible.
feet.
He doesn't have limitless.
It's
He
just
can't
no
shoot that.
It's just no way.
Ay, ay, ay. By the way, while we got this here, thank you to everybody for joining us on the USAE National Team Coach Stream. We've had a lot of fun with you guys tonight, taking in all the games, watching USA stay undefeated as Dimes knocks down a midi of his own, 12-point lead. Reminder, if USA wins this game, they will be 10-0 so far in eFIBA. They will have secured the #1 seed and the first-round bye into the regional finals. A really big accomplishment for a team that, you know, look, JT, it's always pressure playing for USA, right? When you got that USA basketball logo on your chest and on your court, there's always added pressure. But I got to say, the professionalism and the execution from our guys, the 2 game days that we've had, I mean, you couldn't ask for much more. This is as good as it gets in professional 2K. Just the defense, the 3-point shooting, the ball movement. I mean, all of it, high level.
Dawsix is playing just phenomenal, but
He's
you
might have
can't
been
ask.
you could argue he's been the best player on the court.
Yeah, like you can't ask for nothing more. Like they really came out with one goal and from day one, and that was win all 10. It's not look okay. It's not look decent. It's just really come out one game at a time, playing our ball, no matter what the lineup is. They didn't go 10-0 with one lineup. They threw several players out there. If I'm not mistaken, they threw all 10 players out there,
Correct.
and they still really locked in and just it's looking like they're on pace or en route to going 10-0 and really getting it done. So this is just what I'm just happy to see them really come out and just really have that want to. Like to have all that talent, it's hard. Trust me. I played on some very talented teams, and all those egos, it's not easy to tame them. But as Moody came in here and said, it's a lot of chefs in that kitchen, but the chefs who are happy to work together.
Yeah.
And if you have a bunch of talented, world class chefs working together, how can you beat
That go out of bounds? It did.
it?
See? We got one. Yes, we brought it to USA basketball. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, well, so the plan is to have CB13 on our show here for a quick interview. Once the games are done, we'll go through all the box scores from today, and then we'll close out, and that'll be our show. We're already going a little bit later than I expected, but some of the games got delayed. We had a couple forfeits tonight. Obviously, USA was not able to play their game against Barbados because Barbados did not have enough people, so able to get the forfeit there. And in eFIBA, when you get the forfeits, it is a 20-0 win. So if you're worried about point differential, it's a free 20 to your point differential. The Dominican Republic got that forfeit as well. So there you go. 18-point game. Very similar, JT, to the Puerto Rico game where, pretty even game at halftime. They lock into the second half. They take over in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden they're up by 18 and the game is over. I mean, that's about as professional of a win as you're going to get against a good team.
I told you we had it earlier. We seen it earlier with Puerto Rico. A single digit, or that was a tie game at halftime.
Yep.
This was a 7-point game at halftime. Now it's double digits. You can't let a good team like USAB, when they're not playing well, still have a lead, still be in the game. They weren't playing that well, missing a lot of open shots. It's not really looking anything like they looked against Guatemala. But not only did their offense pick up in the second half, their defense did. Great flare by Dawsix, green bean machine.
This really is a defensive clinic. Look at C's putting up the three. This is really a defensive clinic today from USA Basketball. I mean, you could talk about the offensive firepower all you want. You could talk about CB13 dropping 99 points, which is ridiculous. But at the end of the day, JT, the best teams in basketball, no matter if it's virtual, on the hardwood, 3v3, 5v5, men's, women's, it doesn't matter. If your defense is locked down, you can win any game that you're on the court. And I think you saw that today for USAB. They are always the best team, not because they can score, but they're going to make sure that you don't.
Yeah, that's that one two. One of my good friends is where I really got the quote from. You can't teach that one two.
Nope.
You can't make anybody want to do anything. It kind of has to already be in you. And this whole roster from top to bottom, it's instilled in them to make their country proud. And we have seen that for 10 games straight.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, 64-46. USA Basketball will close out their undefeated run here. Let me get this off the screen. I'm sorry. Big time win as well. Nice to see the guys get the business done where they had to. 25 for Johnny Red, 12 and 11 for Dimes. How about 9 steals, 5 coming from Dawsix? Outstanding work from the lockdown today. He was excellent, JT.
Amazing. He was literally the forefront of their defense. Like just even when their back ends, their rotations weren't as crisp. They weren't always moving as one, very cohesive. He was still getting those on ball solo steals that really would take that takeover from their point guard, from the opposing point guards, take that momentum from the opposing point guards. And in this game, as a guard, life is hard. So you start to turn the ball over with those plucks. It also starts to mess with you mentally. So he literally single-handedly today was a menace to his opposing guards by really making their life that much harder.
64 to 46. We'll get this box score up and we can take a closer look at it, Mr. JT, because I'm sure you want to look at it. What was it, 5 steals? Yeah, 5 steals for Dawsix to close it out. Now I can put the little lockdown emoji. You know how we roll over here with our lockdowns in the 2K community. Slammed shut. All right. Let's head to our box score that I just posted from the Dominican Republic game. There it is. Let's do a little analysis while we're waiting for Mr. CB13 to hopefully get into the chat. But there it is, 64 to 46, 25 for Johnny Red, 5 points, 10 assists for CB. He struggled shooting, 2 of 8 from the field, but it didn't matter because you take him away, JT. The rest of the team, they went 23 for 34. And I lost your camera. Where'd you go?
Oh, that was me. Sorry. I was checking my DMs because yeah, somebody had a lot of points that we didn't know about.
Oh,
But we'll focus on what's in front of us.
okay. Well, we'll focus
Ooh.
on this in a sec. We'll focus on that in a second. But they did a great job on C's. Only 3 of 9 from the field from 3. We saw something similar against Killy in the Puerto Rico game where he also struggled from 3. I think that has a lot to do with the play of Dawsix, who was excellent this game. 11 points, 2 assists, 5 steals, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. JT, what does it mean to have a lockdown on your team like this who can bring it in so many different ways and is so much a different skill set?
It means everything because they're the front of the defense. Like, of course, defense is a team thing. You do need a great back end. You do need a great center. Your rotations do have to be crisp. But when you're that lock that's applying pressure on your own, you're full court pressing, you're blitzing the strong can, you're making guards give the ball up early, which is taking time off the shot clock. You're literally making them change how they play the game. You make a point guard change how they play the game, it changes how the whole offense is ran. They can't call the same plays. They can't move the same. They don't take the shots they're used to. Dawsix was really just being super aggressive on point guards, being a literal menace, as we see some locks do, but it'll always be levels. Dawsix is doing it on a grand stage. But he came in today just really trying to take it off them, really going at their strong can, really playing them to their tendencies. That's preparation. Preparation always prevents poor performance, and he did that today.
Everyone at the regional finals in 2 weeks. Boom. Outstanding. We're going to have a fun tweet coming out here soon. I want to speak to the professionalism of the USA basketball players. It's easy in situations like this where you have such an elite team. You're going for, a reclamation of a championship like this, and you can get out of your head a little bit, right, JT? You can get a little bit cocky, you can get a little bit arrogant, but instead, this USA team is really locked down, kept it in-house, and has really just put their best foot forward. I think their professionalism should really be applauded. This is both an easy situation to be in for great players, but also a tough one because you have to execute at the highest level every single game, or people are like, oh, you don't deserve to be on the USA basketball team, and they have just brought it every single game. The intensity has been outstanding.
It might actually be much more difficult than easy. Like that whole talent thing, it's cool, but it's not. Because when you have 10 talented players, 10 of the best players in the world, they all think they're right. So if they all think they're right, who's putting their ego aside? They all are. They all are listening and trusting that even though I'm one of the best, so is he, so is she. They are the best. So if they're the best, maybe they could teach me something I don't know. Maybe they could tell me something I don't see. Maybe they can help me out where I do need help at. To be able to trust and put your ego down and really buy in, that's where it really counts. As we've seen year in year out with the 2K League, you're not winning if the whole team doesn't buy in.
Mm-hmm.
If one person doesn't buy in, the whole thing falters.
The whole thing
All
collapses.
10 of them are buying in. All 10 players, the 4, 5, 6 coaches, they're all bought in. They're working together as well. Those are some of our best coaches on some of our best teams as well. That's a lot of ego, just putting aside ego, pride, and just wanting to do one thing, win. get the job done, and they're doing that game in, game out, week in, week out. I couldn't be any more proud, any more impressed with what they showed me going 10-0 in these couple weeks of basketball.
Well, I'm about to get the final score graphic of the night up so we can take a look at all the scores at once. I'll launch this one up right now. 10-0 record, number 1 seed, first round bye. And obviously, we will be in the regional finals in 2 weeks. Let's check out this tweet, JT, because it is a good-looking final score graphic of the night. Shout out to our design team as well, who have been really cooking. They have been absolutely cooking on these graphics so far. Let's go to our tweet frame here. And as you can see at the top, 89-23 victory over the Cayman Islands, 20-0 in the forfeit over Barbados, 60-40 against a very scrappy Puerto Rican team, 172-50 against Guatemala, including 99 points from CB13, and then a very professional, take care of business win over the Dominican Republic to move to 10-0, JT. What is your response to hearing USA basketball 10-0?
Job not finished.
Job not finished.
Job not done. Y'all went 10-0. Y'all played amazing. I'm super proud. I'm impressed. Y'all have showed the world, as of now, you're the best. As of now. Not you got it done, not you won it all. Just as of right now. In this present, you were the best team. But the job's not done. So if the job's not done, you don't play like you don't become complacent, you don't get comfortable. You literally say, "This is our first stepping stone. We're not done yet. Let's keep it going." So I want them to take this momentum, take this confidence, take this camaraderie, take everything that y'all have learned in these 10 games as a unit from coaches to players and keep that going. Keep that pushing. Keep going forward. Don't stop here. Don't stop now. All gas, no brakes.
Well, speaking of no gas, all gas, no brakes, let's check in with our guy, CB13. CB, you with us?
Yep.
I'm shocked. I'm sorry. I left you waiting there for a second. You want to do an audio or video interview? Up to you, my friend.
I could put the camera on 1 second.
Oh, we got 3 video interviews tonight, JT. We are #blessed.
Should be good.
Oh, okay.
There he is. Oh yeah, look at the big, beautiful USA flag back there. Let's drop you down here. Actually, hold on before I do. Actually, hold on. This is funny because you can actually see yourself in that. So I'm going to swap you out. We're going to grab the guest thing. You are not Josiah Cohen, the assistant coach of the national team. You are CB13, the starting PG for the national team. There you go. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is CB13, the starting point guard for the national team. First things first, my guy, congratulations on a phenomenal set of games tonight. Obviously, you only played 3. You didn't start the first one. The Barbados game was a forfeit, but I mean, talk to us about the 99-point game against Guatemala. Have you ever scored 99 points in a game before? What were you thinking throughout that game? We know you're trying to get 100, but what's a 99-point game like for you?
Yeah, so going into that game, we had played them in the first game day, so we knew that was our chance to try to get the scoring record in general. And in the first half, we didn't really turn them over enough. We were trying to make them shoot quick shots, but and not foul and things like that. And we almost had 60 something at the half. So in the second half, we were let's just be super aggressive. We should have did that the whole time because the last 2 quarters we had 52 and 53. And then once it was known that we weren't going to get the 200, we had 100, 100 some points with a lot of time left, and I had 70 some. I was yo, I might be able to get 100 if we really just do that. And then so the rest of the guys on the team obviously don't really care about points. We all like to make extra passes. In that game too, I had 10 assists or something like that. So we just at the end of the game we're let's just try to see if we can do something memorable, I guess, in the game. And then I missed a fade in that corner when I had 97. I was right there and I just missed. I was upset. But it's all good.
Sorry, man. I guess 99 is going to have to do. I think the best accomplishment, I think, for you guys is 10-0, right? That is not an easy thing to do. You're going up against Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico twice. You're going up against other scrappy 2K teams as well. What does 10-0 mean to you and this group who we don't get a look behind the scenes that often, but I've seen it. You guys put a lot of work into this. So what does that 10-0 mean for you guys?
Yeah, it means a lot. I think the overall USA team, all 12 players, even, and Dietrich aren't on the official roster, but they practice with us a lot. all 12 players could definitely play on this team. And so the practices we have, honestly, are going to be harder than anything that we play in these tournaments. I really do think if you put our, I guess you would say, B team in this event as well, we would be playing them in the finals of this whole thing. So I think that's how good these practices have been. I think that's how good the entire group is, not only just the 5 people that are starting on the team. Obviously, it's a blessing to start on the team as well.
Mhm.
But I do think that the hardest games we're going to play are the ones in practice, and it's really prepared us well. We've been practicing um, multiple times a week. I think a lot of people have been giving up things in their real life to try and practice with us. And even if you're on the B team, to still be here all day practicing against each other really means a lot. So really shout out to them to get us prepared for these games because, like I said, they're way harder practice games than they are real games.
Yeah, I'm sure. I have to imagine that going up every single day against Dave Fry is definitely gonna. What was it? The old saying, "Iron sharpens iron." Yeah, that sounds like it checks
Definitely.
out. Charlie, as well. Let's talk about the overall tournament, right? You guys are 10-0, first round bye. Got the number one seed. You guys will go right to the regional finals, going up against one of the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico. How does your mentality change going out of these best of ones and into a big best of three to go to Sweden? Is it a mentality change? Do you practice different? Do you game plan different? Or is it just kind of the same mentality the whole way through?
I think it's kind of the same mentality, right? I think the first game day, we were happy with the 5-0 result, but we weren't happy with how the Dominican Republic game went. I feel like we kind of played like one of the worst games we've played as a five together.
Sure.
So coming into today, it was definitely like, yo, let's go 5-0, but also let's put like a punctuation on both of those matchups. Obviously, we've had a little bit of easier time with Puerto Rico, but they're still a pretty good team as well. But so for both of those teams, just today was about kind of putting that exclamation point on like neither of you guys can really play with us, and we want to like keep that in mind for when we play in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whenever that is. So that was the goal today. I definitely think best of three also favors us because right, I mean it is sometimes a little fluky. You never know.
Yeah.
So if you do lose a game, obviously those teams have some 2K League players as well. And if you lose one game, I think we have enough, guys in the room, Moody, Josiah, Lance, of course, as well to help us out if that does happen. So I think best of three definitely favors us as well. I'm really looking forward to. I think it's November 9th. We'll play
Mhm.
the winner of their best of one.
So last question before we let you go here, CB. You've had quite the year of 2K, man. I mean, you guys had a very interesting 2K League season. Obviously, 3v3 didn't go the way you wanted, but 5v5, you guys end up being the champions. Were outstanding in that playoff run. Now you go from winning an NBA 2K League championship, being one of the best players on the court. Now you're the starting point guard for USA Basketball with the opportunity to go to Sweden to play 2K. I mean, kind of try to wrap this whole year you've had into a couple of sentences for us.
Yeah, I think this year has definitely been a blessing. I think this is what a lot of the preparation's been like. I've been playing, 2K at a pretty high level now since 2K like 18, 2K 19.
Mhm.
So a lot of it's coming full circle this year. It's been a really truly a blessing to have a chance to not only finally win a championship for the Warriors who I've been with for a while, but also have the opportunity to be selected to this team, and then not only that to also be starting. So it's just been a blessing this whole time, and we're looking forward to getting the World Championship back to the United States, not losing any teams along the way. That just remains the goal.
All right. Well, CB, thank you for joining us. Congrats again on almost hitting the century mark. I know that you're going to be staying up all night thinking about that fade that would have given you 100. But congrats to you. Congrats to the rest of the team. And yeah, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Appreciate you guys for having me. Yep. See you soon.
See you, buddy. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That is just about going to do it for us here for the USA Basketball co-stream. It was a lot of fun, JT. We did some good work tonight. We watched all the games. We saw our USA Basketball boys get it done. 5-0 on the night, 10-0 on the tournament. So I'm really, really excited to see what we get out of this crew in a couple of weeks for the regional finals. Obviously, the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico will have to go toe-to-toe against each other. We obviously won't be playing then, but we are in the regional finals playing the winner of that game. JT, as we look at our final scores here and we want to close out the night, any final thoughts?
Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Like this can't be it. Like I'll keep saying, I'll keep beating it, I'll keep repeating it. Don't become complacent. Don't become comfortable. You haven't done enough. I know y'all think the same way I do. I know y'all want to win the whole thing, but it's one step at a time, one game at a time. Don't get too far ahead. Don't look ahead of nobody. Don't become too confident. Don't become like keep that just right level of confidence. Don't get cocky. Don't get arrogant. You can lose like everybody else, but just keep at it. Everything you guys have been doing that we don't know about because we're not behind the scenes. Everything that's being done behind the scenes, don't change that. Keep that same consistent workup. Consistency is key in life. So why would it be any different with 2K? Just keep it up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here. The eFIBA Regional Finals for North America will be November 9th. So I got to change up my graphic. But it was a lot of fun to do this with you, JT. We will be back in about 3.5 weeks or so to watch, hopefully, USA Basketball take the North America Regional Finals and take that all the way to Sweden. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. It was a whole lot of fun. It is an honor to wear this badge and to stream on this channel. It is a dream come true truly for both JT and I. That is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you guys for joining. Enjoy some USA Basketball highlights this week.